How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me live in the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, Trump at McDonald's was a success. It was perfect. I loved everything about it. It was absolutely brilliant and a great way to troll Kamala Harris, who says she worked at McDonald's, but I think there is some evidence that she did not work at McDonald's ever. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, Kamala took a day off right on the home stretch. Kamala, you took a day off with 14 days left. What are you doing? You could take a vacation. Listen, Kamala, you can go on vacation after you lose the election. It's only 2 weeks. What's the rush? We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the crooked, jackleg, pimping, philandering, baby mama having, adulterous pastor Jamal Bryant trying to tell black men who we should and should not vote for. That's like, sir, you are the last one to give me any piece of advice. That's like a crackhead trying to preach sobriety. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the Atlantic newspaper is releasing an October surprise about some old story that happened during Trump's administration. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, we got a lot going on. There is a whole lot happening. I got a lot of videos. I got a lot of articles. I got a little bit of everything. Okay. But shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. I appreciate y'all. Again, if you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, you know what to do. Get a video a thumbs up. If for some reason you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Y'all know YouTube loves playing games. One thing YouTube will do is unsubscribe you from a channel that you don't want to be unsubscribed from. That's how that goes. So make sure you subscribe. And if you're not, go ahead and subscribe right now. And we got a whole lot to get into. And again, thank y'all for joining. HP Benin says, I don't think Kamala's heart is in it anymore. Kamala is just doing whatever she's told to the best of her ability. That's it. Kamala, and look, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with being an employee. It's okay. It is okay. It's fine. But when you are trying to be the leader of the free world, there's a certain standard you got to reach, right? For example, it's okay if I don't know how to perform open heart surgery. All right. I'm not, what is that? A cardiologist? That's not what I do. I'm just a guy on the internet talking. All right. I got a certain skill set, and it's not to go crack open your chest and work on your heart. I will leave that to the cardiologist. Same thing with being the president. Some people aren't really suited for the job. If you need hooked on phonics at 60 years old, maybe being the president isn't for you, because you got to know how to read. You got to know how to communicate. You got to know how to talk to people, quick on your feet, make decisions. That's not Kamala. Kamala is not a leader. Kamala is at best part of a staff. But throughout her track record, throughout her history, she's not really done anything. There's nothing to show. Like at her age, there should be a whole career behind her. But what's the career? Being the attorney general, locking black men up for weed and little ticky-tack stuff, truancy, things of this nature. For what? Like, what is that going to do? How are you going to crack down on crime in Oakland by locking up parents for their kids skipping school? How is that going to help the crime problem? Hey, if we get this parent working a job off the street because their kids skipped school, then that's going to help things. I mean, just a career of nothing. High status roles, but in that role, what did you do exactly? Not a thing. And we see how morons can get into local office, which is why I say it's very important to vote. on a local level. You got Tim Walz. How is he anywhere near the governor seat of Minnesota? How is he anywhere near that? Kamala Harris. How is she in the Senate, in the U.S. Senate, going to D.C.? How? When 1 + 1 might be a difficult equation. That's kind of pushing it. It's like, all right, now you got me reading a teleprompter. Now I got to do math problems on the fly. That's a little bit too much. It's very important to vote, not just for the president, but in your local election. Now, speaking of voting, I have already voted. Shout out to me. Hold on. Just a round of applause for myself and you guys who have already voted. I already voted in person in Tennessee, paper ballots, old school style. Showing my ID to verify who I am, paper ballot, old school, like you about to go take the SOL in high school. Take a pen, bubble it in, and scan it in the machine. You can see it happen right there. It's all right there. Ain't no funny business where you pushing the button on the screen and it's not going to the right thing. No. No. I got a sheet of paper, in person, ID, fill it out. It was just like regular voting day. But the key is it took me next to no time. The polls out here closed at 6 p.m. I got there at 5:45. The line was not long. I saw a friend of mine, spoke to him for like 2 minutes, went straight to the line. And by 6:15 or so, maybe 6:10, I'm back in my car and I'm leaving. Really easy, in person, no funny business, no malarkey. If you prefer to vote on voting day, I understand. But if you have in-person early voting, I say go do it. If you are not able to be where you are to vote, I would say do the mail-in ballot if that's your only option. My preference is always in person with ID paper ballots, and that's what we got here in Tennessee. If you guys don't have that in your state, please get the right people in there so they can do that. One thing that we did here in Tennessee and Georgia and other states is strengthen our voting laws. A lot of outsiders talk about Brad Roethlisberger in Georgia, and they talk about Brian Kemp as if they're bad people, but really here, they do a very good job. Georgia is a well-run state. It really is. Very much so. Tennessee, same thing. This is a great place to live, and people are flocking here for that reason. People don't flock to Georgia, not just Atlanta, but all over the state. People don't flock to Tennessee, not just Nashville, but all over the state. People don't flock here for no reason. Okay, we're getting boatloads of Californians, unfortunately. We need some of you guys who, if you come from California, that's fine. But what we don't need is more Nashville dwellers trying to live this country music lifestyle out in Franklin, which is not Nashville. But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Lady B says, I'm early in-person voting tomorrow. There we go. Shout out to you. That's what's up. You did the same, B Borrowed? All righty. I'm loving it. Shout out to you guys. That's how you got to do it. Shaquille Oatmeal says, early voted today. I even got a I voted sticker. There we go. Perfect. Mark says, I thought you were going to wait until the day of the election to vote. I was at first. I was going to do that. But I decided to go ahead and vote early in person. And it was the same as voting on the day of. The key difference is that the line, I was only in line for a few minutes and I was able just to go ahead and vote, get everything done, and go about the rest of my day. Straight to Home Depot afterward. Straight to Home Depot. Okay, straight to the home improvement heaven. That's where I went straight after voting. Okay, but yeah, we got a whole lot going on. Oh, you moving to Memphis extra ill? You know, the thing about Tennessee, and the thing about a lot of cities, is that the crime is kind of isolated. Before I came here to Chattanooga, this area, people were telling me, oh, you go in the Chattanooga, it's a high crime area. They got a high per capita crime rate. But once you actually hear, it's not it's not bad. It's a really nice area. The crime is just in certain little neighborhoods. It's the same kind of way in Memphis. As long as you're not in the hoods and you got your head on the swivel, it's not that bad. There is crime, but a lot of the crime is isolated in the hood areas. Not necessarily Beale Street, all that. That's not really what's going on down there. Same thing with here. You could go downtown, go to the aquarium, go to the water. You'd be all right. Now, if you just happen to be wandering around in a dark corner downtown at night, drunk, not paying attention, that's something different. But beyond that, man, you'll be all right. Tennessee is a good place to live. Compared to Virginia, like Virginia Beach, Norfolk, like I always say, before I left in 2017, like right before I left, it was always a bunch of crime going on in my neck of the woods. We had an OK Corral type shootout. And I probably know one of the guys that was involved with the shootout. This dude walk around with this big gun. It looked like a toy gun. It was so big and old with this big holster. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. It was a big revolver in a holster. It looked like something straight from a Western. It looked like the gun that Alec Baldwin had. It looked like that. whatever Alec Baldwin had, and unfortunately deleted that lady. Whatever he had, that's pretty much what my man had. And it was probably him that was engaged in the big shootout. Hold on. My man had something like this, but it was on his waist. Imagine you see a guy, hold on. You see a hood dude walking around like this, but rather than it being on his chest, it's like on his belt and it's sagging. The holster was sagging and the gun's just flopping around. But you know that if he needs to get access to that pistol, it's going to be in his hands immediately, even though the holster is sagging off his hip like a pair of pants sagging. You understand? So you see guys like that walking around in the hood, shooting up stuff because you could open carry in Virginia with no permit. You got constitutional open carry, but you can't conceal carry with no permit. Yeah, that thing was, I'm talking about, I was like, man, look, I don't want no smoke with that guy. No smoke. Yeah, but that's what's going on. So I've not really seen that much kind of activity out here. It's a cool place to be. All right. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. We got a whole lot happening, a whole lot of articles, a whole lot of videos, everything. But first things first, y'all know how I do. Shout out to the sponsors. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box, or you could just type in patriotpost.us in your browser bar. Tell them that ABL sent you. Go to ablmerch.com. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Check it out in the box. Also, go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democrat, Republican, local, national, international, whatever I can put on the website that's legal, it'll be right there on the front page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. If I can't play a full video, if you want an uninterrupted video, uncensored video, whatever the case may be, feel free to go to the website, AnthonyBLogan.com. And as always, if you want to contact me, the best way is through the website on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact-us. And on the contact page, you can find my email address, my SNML address, my UPS box. And shout out to you guys who send me things in the UPS box. I got something right now in my box I got to go check. But shout out to you guys who send me things. I get a lot of books and all kind of prizes and surprises. If you send something crazy, I will call the police. But y'all don't do that because you guys are fantastic. But also, you can find my social media accounts on the contact page. My Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. My TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. I am as old as Joe Biden and times 10 on TikTok. Okay, I feel like Paw for real. All right, I got Like the top people on TikTok are like my nieces and nephews' age. It's crazy, man. I'm an old man on there, but it's fine. That's why I do the whole Uncle ABL thing. And I'm coming back to Uncle ABL. I got some really good topics. I'm going to cover one about the whole obesity issue. I saw a video from Vice, and they're talking about, it was a discussion between fit people and fat people. That's what they said, not me. I'm not calling them fat. That's what they said on their video. They're talking about, oh, well, it's expensive to eat healthy. Listen to me very well. Here's a preview of my video for Uncle ABL. Hear me very well. If you weigh 400, 500 pounds, you're spending a lot of money on food. The calories you're consuming are crazy. You're consuming a lot of calories. You're eating the kind of food that they would feed farm animals. You understand what I'm saying? You're eating the massive amount of food. You're eating the kind of food they feed Kanye Corsos. All right. You got this big, crazy, giant dog, big cow type diet. Okay. So if you didn't buy as much food, I'm talking about like 600-pound life. The one lady, I got to find that. The lady had a server tray. You know, when they put the drinks, Applebee's, Texas, Longhorn Steakhouse, they bring the drinks out on the server tray, right? Like this, and they don't fall. She had one of those with breakfast on it. I'm like, look, see, all the food that filled that server tray, which is not meant for like a plate. It's not a plate. It's a server tray. You got something that's like this big. It's a server tray, not a plate. All the food on there, it don't matter if it's healthy or unhealthy. It's going to cost a lot because of just the volume. Moral of the story is, if you don't eat as much food, you're going to spend less on food. Healthy or what, it don't matter. Even if healthy food was 30% more costly, which is not, but let's just say it was, if you ate 50% less food, you still save. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I digress. We got a lot going on here. There's a whole lot happening. Are you guys familiar with the WNBA? You know, we got, they just had a championship, and that game was brutal. That game was brutal. Hold on. I think we have some footage of the actual game, and I'm going somewhere with this, so y'all hang with me. Okay. I think this was a championship game right here, some of it. Now look at what's happening. Look at these just amazing athletes. Okay. Missing wide open shots. The championship game, not even a brick. You missed everything. You missed the hoop, the net, the bet board, all of that. Okay, and then we got a lot of double dribbling, hands under the ball. This right here is not a good product, and this is like the championship. Come on. You're shooting up shots. Nothing's landing. And look at the score. It's 47-46 in the fourth quarter. If this was an NBA game, it'd be double the score. Look at this. And then they say, hey, why don't we get paid as much? We should get paid as much as the men. Why would you get paid as much as the men when this right here is not even the Harlem Globetrotters type performance? This is LA Fitness at best. This is straight up pickup basketball outside of a church at best. This is front yard basketball on somebody's garage hoop at best. Why would you make the same kind of money the NBA players make? Make that make sense. It doesn't. Listen, I think I might know how to shoot a basketball, right? But if I go out there and try to play against LeBron James and I say, you know what? I play basketball. I deserve what LeBron James is going to get. It's just not going to happen. Okay, that's just not how it works, man. The talented people, they are the ones that earn the money. All right, now look, here's what I wanted to get to. WNBA Players Union decides to opt out of current collective bargaining agreement. So they want to negotiate for more money. How? How are you going to negotiate for more money? Oh, and I know they're really good in the Globetrotters. Absolutely. But the Globetrotters still is not the NBA. They don't make NBA money. But I would much rather see the Globetrotters than the WNBA. And the Globetrotter guys would never say that they should get paid the same kind of thing as LeBron and these guys. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know where they're going to get any kind of money. Listen, they had an 11-year deal worth $200 million a year, okay, for media rights. But now they kind of want to get more. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the main thing. So it says the league has been skyrocketing, with 2024 marking a huge breakthrough after years of significant and sustained growth. ESPN had huge increases in ratings, with viewership in the regular season going up 170%. But look, although there's a lot of viewers because of Caitlin Clark and that phenomenon, first of all, who's to say that that's going to continue? That might be a flash in the pan. Second of all, you still are losing money. You still are not profitable at all. So how do you draw blood from a stone? That's that commie talk, man. Everybody feel like they deserve something because they do something. That's not how it works at all. You got to be, you got to stand out. You got to be the best of the best in order to really get what you want. It's a lot of guys that do YouTube, but who's going to be successful enough to really make it be something? Not everybody. Not everybody, and it's okay. It's fine. It's totally fine. Like I say, I wanted to play basketball, but you know what? That's not really my thing. So I let LeBron and them have it. I let LeBron have it. I let Kevin Durant and Kyrie, I let those guys have it. That's not really my thing. And I don't think it's the thing of the young ladies of the WNBA. You know what? Would it really be funny? I wouldn't want this to happen, but you know what would really be funny? Is if the WNBA allowed transgenders to come in. Oh my, it'd be over. It'd be over. It'd be some dude calling himself Julie, and his real name is Jamal Bryant. He's going to be up there doing 360 windmill dunks like Michael Jordan. But in reality, if he was just to be playing alongside the men, he'd be at LA Fitness lacing them up at 37 years old with a knee pad on. That's what he would be. But since he's able to play against the women, he's out there looking like Jordan, looking like Space Jam, a cartoon. All right, pushing a button on his sneakers to go fly above the rim. That'd be how he looks. But anyway, I digress. Now, speaking about Hollywood entertainment celebrities, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton, listen, I have to separate the art from the artist, okay? Because Batman 1992, yes, Batman Returns with Michelle Pfeiffer specifically. That Batman, one of my all-time favorite movies. I saw it when it came out. I'm like, what, maybe about, how old am I, 92? I'm like 8 years old, 92? Yeah, I love that movie so much. So Michael Keaton, I see him now as just a person. The guy that was in Batman is just a character. All right, so let's see what he says here about Kamala. All right, and RIP to your childhood right now, if you're my age.
Hi, Michael.
And RIP also to the headphone users. Sorry for that loud noise.
Hey, hi, Michael. You know, for some of you folks who, guys mostly, I guess, who are thinking about attending a rally with Musk and Trump, they don't really respect you. They laugh at you behind your back. They think you're stupid. They don't want to hang out with you. They have nothing in common with you. They're not your bros. And I'm telling you, when Trump, years ago, I guess, said, I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they'd still vote for me, basically what he's saying in parentheses is, these people are so stupid, they're so dumb, they'd still vote for me. They have no respect for you. Trust me.
All right, so there we have Michael Keaton. So are you guys going to take heed Michael Keaton's words that they think you're dumb, they think you're stupid? Now, you know what's funny is that they always tell on themselves, because what is a bigger sign of thinking you're stupid than to do something like put out an interview and then there's questions and answers to the interview that you can see with your own two eyes, and the very next day they change that same interview and have one of the answers to a question be totally different. And then they say, oh, it's just editing. It's proper context, and we're giving the more succinct answer. What? I've never seen that before. Listen, if they're going to edit an interview, the editing process should happen before you release it. It shouldn't be multiple versions of the same answer floating around on the internet. Whatever the edit's going to be, let it be that before it gets released. They did an A/B test. They put out one version of the answer and then another version of the answer, and they were trying to test which one made the most sense. Or maybe they saw that the first one got a negative reaction because it was word salad, and then they put out a whole different answer. And I'm speaking about Kamala being asked about Israel and Benjamin Netanyahu, all of that on 60 Minutes. That kind of thing that they do and behave like it's not really a big deal, that kind of behavior to me makes me think that they think you're dumb. Okay? But I digress. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Oh, here's something else. Okay, I gotta show this. I have to show this. Now, some of you guys may have seen the Pop the Balloon dating show. And I'm not going to show no dating show, really. I'm going to show a political ad. You guys may or may not have seen this. Matter of fact, there's 2 ads like this. And guess who they're trying to target? Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there's a really popular show on the internet. It's called Pop the Balloon, right? It's a dating show. You got one person that comes out and there's a line of men or women, maybe, I don't know, 6, 7 in a line, and they got balloons. Guy comes out, girl comes out. They start talking. If they like what they see, they don't like what they see. They pop the balloon if they don't like it, and they don't pop it if they do. You understand? Maybe that wasn't the best way to explain it, but it's a very popular dating show. So there's a bunch of different versions of this show. Okay. I think Arlette Armuli came up with the first one, and she has the best one. But what Kamala's camp did was create ads that are based on that concept. Okay. Here's the first one.
Hello.
Here's the first one. Hold on 1 second. Put it on the screen.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making 6 figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
So there we go. That's the okay. I'll play one more time.
Hello, ladies. I'm Trey. It's good to be here.
What do you do and how much do you make?
I work in finance, making 6 figures.
How tall are you?
6'5".
Do you have a plan to vote in November?
Nah, not my thing.
Hey, black folks, you guys like this senseless entertainment. So maybe if we put out a fake ad just like this, that'll kind of convince you to go out there and vote, because, you know, the girls ain't going to like you. If you're not voting and if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, hey, man, they're not going to like you, which is completely BS. These women don't care at all on these dating shows. On these dating shows, they couldn't care less. Are you 6'5" and do you have money? That's the main thing. But anyway, I don't want to get triggered right now. So here's another one. The same guy. I guess he got a match from the show, although they all popped the balloon. Anyway, here's the same guy. And now they're at a date. And let's see what happens here.
Really nice place. Have you been here before?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite spots. I bring everybody here.
I said I go on a lot of dates, but...
Hello, ladies.
Okay, so maybe you guys didn't see what happened, but they're at the table. I'm not sure where they're at. What kind of restaurant is this? But anyway, they're at the table, and he has on some kind of like work shirt type situation. My man got paint and stuff on his shirt. Like, where you been at before this? You just came straight from your from your Airbnb you setting up right now. You doing the last minute touches. You're doing a little bit of paint. You're doing a little bit of baseboard trimming. You out there with the miter saw making a few final cuts before the open house. Like, what's going on? And he has on a little tag on his shirt. Okay, and it says, "I didn't vote," with a big X next to it. Okay, and then when she sees the big "I didn't vote," she gets turned off.
I said I go on a lot of dates, but...
And she gets up and walks away. All right. But you know what? One thing I'm going to say one thing. At least they got an attractive woman not no big 800-pound they them to play the role of the girl he's on a date with. I mean, I give him that. But beyond that, that was pretty whack. So yeah, shout out to Kamala and Tampon Tim. These ads ain't really going to work. They're not working too much. I think if you're going to vote for who you're going to vote for, and for real, I done already voted. It's already over. It's already over. Like, I think everybody made their mind up now. We're just in the final stretch to get the last stragglers to make their mind up and go ahead and go. But that ain't going to do it. That ain't going to do it. But yeah, shout out to the working man. But hey, if you just came from, if you just came from framing the house, you might want to take a shower right quick before you go on a date. But yo, check it out. Here's this right here. This right here is the prototypical left-wing nut job interaction. I've had this interaction before in person with the same kind of guy. You know, older white guy thinking he knows everything, super liberal. This kind of guy, this is how they are. All right, check it out.
You're an immigrant.
Oh, so just because I look maybe ethnic,
this is how you are?
Immediately an immigrant.
Well, this is how you are.
Kind of...
So look, this gives a little bit of context. You have white guy, boomer type white guy, talking to a guy that might be maybe in his 30s, I suppose, with a sign that says Kamala unfit. Now the guy looks some kind of way ethnic with the Kamala sign. So the white guy just says, hey, you're an immigrant. Why am I an immigrant? Because I'm not a white person. I look like I'm kind of ethnic. If I don't look white or black, I got to be an immigrant. Like maybe my parents came here and I'm first generation. Maybe. How about this? My parents are born here and I was born here too. And I'm not an immigrant. Just maybe.
Racist of you, wouldn't you say?
I heard you talk about the immigrants.
I'm going to start from the top.
You're an immigrant.
Oh, so just because I look maybe ethnic,
this is how you are?
Immediately an immigrant.
Well, this is how you
That's
are.
kind of racist of you, wouldn't you say?
I heard you talk about the immigrants. He wanted open border.
You're claiming that illegal border crossings are lower now than under Donald Trump? That's your claim? No one believes that.
Oh, what about the bill he knocked down? What about the bill? You don't know, do you?
You're saying the executive branch already has the authority to close the border like they did under President Trump. So I'm asking you, why did they need that bill if Trump had the border closed?
Exactly. That's my point. Exactly. Whenever anybody brings that up, if they want to have a real conversation, oh, what about the bill? He said, he called them and said, don't sign the bill, blah, 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 blah. Why do we need a bill when there was no bill under Trump and the border was secure, relatively? I know we're going to get a big brain rocket scientist coming here and say, well, there were some illegal aliens under Trump. Of course, there's always going to be illegal aliens, but there is a certain level at which it becomes a crisis. Again, what was the numbers? Y'all help me out. Was it 2.4 million border crossings documented under Trump compared to 8.7 million currently and counting under Biden-Harris? It's a big difference, obviously. There's always going to be an issue, but you got to keep the issue to a minimum and not get overrun with drugs, gangs, guns, straight up violence, everything else.
He didn't.
But can you prove that?
Yeah, I know what
10
I'm
years
talking about.
of illegal border crossings chart.
Where are you getting this from? Fox News?
Can you look at this chart from Statista about illegal border crossings? 2016, 2017, 18, and look at 2021, 2022, and 2023. They're threefold, sometimes fourfold. So I don't know where you get the idea that illegal border crossings were lower under Joe Biden than they were under Trump.
Now, what will he say to the actual statistics? He went to a site. It's not some kind of right-wing website, left-wing website. It's just a website that has the numbers. Statista. It just has the numbers. You could look at it and see what's going on. So what do you say to the facts being right in front of your face?
Now I'm showing you a chart from a verifiable source. Are you familiar with them? Do you not want to look? Because you asked me to check this.
You're an immigrant.
I'm not an immigrant. I was born here, actually. So, so just because I look maybe ethnic,
this is how you are?
Immediately an immigrant.
Well, this is how you are.
That's kind of racist of you, wouldn't you say?
No, that's how you are.
What made you think I'm an immigrant? You didn't want to look at the chart that I showed you that proved that the border crossing.
And they always walk away. They always walk away. And then, like, on the way out, they'll say the most egregious thing to you. And right now will be the perfect time to drop the N-word. That'd be the icing on the cake right there as he walks away. Okay. And then if you do something to him, you the bad guy, you get locked up. That's how they do. So a lot of times I try to avoid that kind of confrontation because I know how it's going to end. They're going to try to provoke me into knocking the hind parts clean off their feet. And then I'm the one that get locked up. And I don't like going to the penitentiary to make big rocks to little. I've not been in my lifetime. I don't plan on going. Not for no old ignorant boomer who is still stuck in the past and don't know what's going on right now. Shout out to all the boomers who are intelligent, who are helpful, who are smart and keep this country going. Some of your classmates from back in the day, I don't know what's going on with them. They didn't really get the message. They didn't really get the memo about how to keep the country going forward. All right.
Crossings were higher under Biden. Have a good one.
All right, there we go. So he walks away. Of course. Always, always, always. All right. Hey, you're an immigrant. You look like you're not really American. You have brown skin. You don't look black or white. You're an immigrant. I'm speaking full English, no accent, but I'm an immigrant based upon how I look. That's called racism. But then that same guy will say that the other side are racist. You see that? You see how that works? But nah, yeah, shout out to the boomers. Shout out to them. All right. And then we got some street interviews. Shout out to all the other guys out there doing street interviews. We got Charlie Kirk. We got everybody. Hold on. Let's look at Charlie right quick. Shout out to Charlie.
You got to give me a good reason, at least two, why you don't like Trump.
He's racist. Yup, boomy.
Use Google.
Thank you guys.
Okay, so let me ask you a dumb question. Can you define what does it mean to be racist?
Do you want me to look up a definition?
No, I want you to. You said he's a racist, so you must have a definition of racism in your mind. Tell me what that definition is.
Now, I think the young lady right here can be saved still. There's still a little twinkle in the eye. There's still a little bit of joy. Ain't that what Kamala and them say? Running on joy. There's still a little bit of joy in her. She's not fully been demoralized by college and by weirdos around her. She could still be saved. Hopefully this will help her go in the right direction.
Okay, so, I'm gonna make you guys wait on this. Ooh, zero knowledge.
Guys, please don't heckle. I want to try to understand because these words have a lot of meaning.
Yeah.
But you can't get. I know it's hard on the spot. I just want you to think about it because if you say Trump is a racist, you should be able to easily give a definition of what that word means.
So it's hatred towards another race, right?
So when has he ever exhibited that? Give me clear and specific examples.
You got one? Well, yeah, I heard someone say he told.
Wow. Okay, we phoning a friend. Like, who wants to be a millionaire? Like, what's going on? We're phoning a friend. You don't know. Listen, if you call somebody a racist, that's a pretty heavy allegation. You should have an example of why you think that way. You shouldn't have to be asking people around you for the information because you said he was a racist. If you don't know something, say you don't know. I was always taught as a kid, hey, if you don't know something, just say you don't know it. And what you should do is go try to find out the answer. Look it up. That's what I would do rather than saying something that I can't back up.
Yes!
Okay, but let me just help you out here.
Uh-huh.
What you think he's a racist because the media has told you he's a racist. Because you can't give me an example off the top of your head, and even when you phone a friend to the audience. I'm not criticizing you. Maybe the media is lying to you. Maybe the man who's being called a racist is actually someone that's trying to improve lives of all Americans.
He got her. That did it. I saw the lights upstairs turn on because at first she ain't had no lights in the house on. It might have been one kitchen light above the stove and that's it. Okay. With the detector in the background chirping. That might have been it. But now she has replaced smoke detector batteries. There's no chirping. Turn all the lights on. No leaks under the faucet. I think I'm seeing an improvement here. What do y'all think?
I think this is fun, guys. So
All right. So, hey, you know what? Maybe he'll come back to that campus in a year or two and the purple hair will be gone and she'll be looking like a regular person and her opinion won't be so radical because, listen, a lot of us at one point might have been her. She probably 19, 20. She's young. She'll learn. That's my hope. That's my hope because if she doesn't learn, oh man, what you're gonna do is be a speed bump out there in somebody's road protest. You're gonna be a speed bump, and I don't want that for you. I want you to have a nice long life rather than being a crash test dummy or a speed bump in somebody's random protest. You're gonna go out on the interstate and protest gasoline cars, some other kind of weird stuff, and be a crash test dummy or a speed bump. Anyway, now I think this is my man Nick Shirley. He went to North Carolina.
This guy,
he went to Georgia as well, but then he went to Carolina.
Guy just yelled in the street, Trump 2024. What makes you love Donald Trump?
If you're truly a patriotic American, how could you not love Donald Trump? If you actually are somebody that does your research and your due diligence as opposed to being pushed by somebody else's propagandist talking points, how could you hate Donald Trump? He's the most popular businessman in American history. If you wanted a movie to be popular throughout all of before 2016, who has the most cameos? I find it funny that as soon as he became a Republican, he became racist. But name me that racist that won an NAACP award. I'll wait. Didn't we have peace around the world when Trump was in office? Why are we in war right now? Oh, and for that daggone bill y'all want to keep talking about the border? Well, y'all were okay with the administration giving $60 billion to Ukraine so they can put 1,500 at the border. Here's something else deeper for you to think about. Didn't they leave millions and millions of guns in Afghanistan unguarded and unattended and left the country? Directly after that, Xi Jinping and Putin came down and gave them legitimacy. Well, what happens after that? Oh, didn't Biden give Putin access to a gas pipeline? And then directly after that, he went to war with Ukraine? And then was it a coincidence that one of our basketball stars got locked up in Russia and we traded her for Victor Boot? So we traded the Lord of War for Brittany Griner with a whole bunch of unattended guns in Afghanistan. That's what you voted for. That's better than Trump. You need to wake up, bro.
Hey, man, hey. I love to see it. I love to see my brothers out here. What Obama say? The brothers. I need the brothers to wake up. Yeah, the brothers are woken up or awakened, I should say. The brothers are awakened, Mr. Obama, but they're not buying what you selling no more. They're not buying what you're selling. They're not drinking your Kool-Aid. Okay. Guys are using their brain and thinking outside the box. You want to try to be the overseer, the biracial house slave overseer. That's what you are to them. I'm not saying that's what biracials are. I'm saying that's what they see you as, Mr. Obama. What did Harry Reid say? Oh, he's a clean, well-spoken Negro. Ain't that what he said? That's Obama. And they sicked him on you. Oh, well, the turnout's not really good. We got a problem with the brothers. Obama, I don't want to hear nothing from you no more, really. I'm not praising Obama like he's Jesus Christ. Obama ain't nothing but just a politician and that's it. Okay, go off in the Hamptons and just enjoy yourself. Have another rap party during COVID-19 lockdowns. Do that rather than trying to wax poetic to me. Now, here we go. This was great. This is in Atlanta, ATL. And I've been to this specific spot before many times, right there by that West End. So the question, Trump or Kamala? Now we have a mom with her kids, if I'm not mistaken. The mom says one thing, and the kid says something else.
Trump or Kamala?
Trump.
Trump. There you go. You, mother, Trump or Kamala Harris? Kamala.
Careful.
Wait, is this your daughter? She said Donald Trump. You say Kamala Harris.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, and that's pretty.
That works.
Does
Trump
that?
is better.
Right, she says Trump is better. Awesome. What makes you think Donald Trump's better?
I think if North Korea comes and they're trying to make us a war, I think Trump will scare them away.
Oh my gosh, this might be the smartest young lady I've ever met. That was amazing. Oh my gosh, W's in the chat for that little girl.
Yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to the youngin'. Hey man, the kids, they're gonna tell you the truth. They're gonna be honest. One thing the kids are gonna do is tell you the truth. They're gonna tell you what's really going on. What they say from the mouth of babes. Yeah, the mom. I'm glad the mom has not brainwashed daughter. There's probably dad, because it's probably the middle of the daytime. They're just in Atlanta walking around. Yeah, I've been on there. What's that, Hard Rock? Yeah, all of that. Downtown, looks like downtown right there. Yeah, it is out in the daytime chilling. Dad's at work. And then when they go home and dad comes home, dad is going to actually give the real deal. And mom ain't going to really say too much. Mom just upset at what's going on with Trump because she's watching MS-13 DNC while the husband at work. That's what's going on, in my humble opinion. But yeah, the kids know what's going on. The kids know. Shout out to the kids out there that understand some politics. All right. And we got some more here. We have, hold on, matter of fact, I want to play a couple. Things here. We have an independent voter explaining why she's voting for Trump over Kamala.
I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump, and this is why. That's shocking of me to say. 1, your homegirl can't afford groceries. 2, how Afghanistan was carried out. 3, how everything is happening between Israel and Gaza and the Middle East at war should not be handled how it's being handled right now. Ukraine, Maui fires. All of those are perfect examples of the government mishandling taxpayer dollars, not being there for the people. Like, let's just talk about Maui for a second. How the government responded to that was actually wild. Let's talk about North Carolina for a second. How the government's response to that was actually insane. It was one of those realizations that if there's a natural disaster, the government is not going to do anything for you. And because of that, I cannot support the current administration. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I'm an independent. I do all my own research. And it's actually quite terrifying to even put my opinion out there because it is so different than other people's. But one thing I've learned from marketing is it's really easy to spread an agenda that you want to spread. So that's why I'm very careful while watching the news is what agenda are they trying to get across to me. Because I don't go about this decision lightly. I vote for my family, my future kids. I'm friends with people who have came to America for safety because their country turned dangerous. So I just want to make a educated vote. And even though Trump has a huge ego, and even though he should turn off his Twitter, I still feel like out of the two of them, he's going to get the job done. And I feel like no matter what you say, America is a stabilizer for the rest of the world. And the rest of the world is on the verge of World War III. Literally.
So you get the idea what's going on. Shout out to her. People are able to see this. They're able to see this. They understand this. And they understand that the current administration is not doing very well. And I saw this whole thing coming. I saw it coming after the election results of 2020. I was like, what's going to happen is people got I was like, sometimes you got to show people just how bad things can get under certain people so then they learn. You got to suffer and then you come back and say, you know what? I made a mistake. If people suffered for the past 3.5, 4 years when next year comes, if they suffered for that entire time because of the policies of that administration and they still vote for that administration, I mean, I'm not really sure what else you can do. That doesn't make any sense at all. People don't do that normally. That's that TDS. That's that advanced level TDS. You're willing to hurt your own self and your family because of how much you hate the orange man. Listen, I don't have to like somebody to actually work with them and to have success with them. You understand? Like, it's been guys I worked with for years that I didn't really like that much personally, but there was a respect level there to be able to get money together. That's what it was. And we did that for a long time. I'm not really trying to go to your house and hang out with you and all that kind of good stuff, but you're trying to get some money together. You're trying to do business. Let's do it. That's the way it should be. It shouldn't be an emotional thing. Like, I don't have to love this man. He has a job to do. Do your job well. That's all I care about. That's it. Do your job well. If one guy does the job well and the other guy does not, why would I vote for the guy who does not? Because he's running on joy and it doesn't compute. It doesn't compute, which is why there's a survey that came out that said 3 of 10 men in Georgia do not support Kamala. pardon me, fewer than 3 out of 10 men in Georgia support Kamala. All right, here's the article right here. I ain't gonna read it. I'm gonna just put it on the screen for you right quick. All right, so you see what it says right here. This is New York Post. Fewer than 3 in 10 Georgia men back Kamala Harris for president. So let me see the actual number, if they're gonna show it. So she only has 29% job approval among men. Again, 59% disapproval. 59%. I mean, that's pretty bad. So the way it looks right now, if you're talking about just men in Georgia, it's a landslide in favor of Trump. Landslide. The only way Trump would have any kind of trouble is Atlanta and the women. But even that, in my opinion, won't be enough to overcome the support that Trump has in Georgia. They're going to rely on the black vote in a place like Georgia, which is why they're trying to shame us. But a lot of black men I've spoken to in Georgia say, I'm not going to do it. A lot of guys I know, I didn't vote last time. I voted for Kamala last time, not Kamala, Biden. I voted for Biden last time, but now I'm voting for Trump. I'm hearing that over and over and over and over and over again. So her chances in general are bad, but in Georgia, especially bad. Especially. Okay, now let's check this out. Hold on. This is a person who has a testimony about hating Trump and then becoming a Trump supporter. All right, this is gonna be pretty interesting.
In 2016, I thought that Donald Trump was evil. I had full Trump derangement syndrome. And when he was elected, I was an emotionally dysregulated lunatic from trauma. And I take responsibility for my bad behavior. Freshman year of college, I walked into a zoology class and they were saying how Trump being elected was going to be actually good for the LGBT community, because it was going to bring them closer together. I was on Tumblr in my woke circles.
Oh, not Tumblr. Oh, my goodness. Man, you talking about like Reddit on meth.
Believing all the lies that Trump was going to be responsible for hundreds of trans deaths and that there was going to be a trans genocide. I lost it and I was sitting there fuming. And then one girl said, I voted third party. I don't really support anyone. And to me, that signaled apathy, ignorance, and a disregard for trans rights somehow. It resulted in me calling the girl a cunt. And then
Whoa. Okay, now, let's not do no more cussing.
And I went and cried in the bathroom because I was a traumatized person that had no emotion regulation, no boundaries, and so I was not a stable person. A month later, I would be prescribed testosterone, and 6 months later, I'd have my breast cut off. And stable people are drawn to shallow illusions that validate their rage, their sense of injustice, powerlessness in their life. It's the woke rhetoric of abuser and victim. And any marginalized person is a victim. And trans was the most marginal thing you could be.
You know what? See, ding, 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 ding. You got it right there. That's why there's so much of this trans identifying, because people want to be part of a protected class. This is also why a lot of your older white guys become transgender. This is your Caitlyn Jenners, Bob Turr, aka Zoe Turr, Katie Turr's dad, the guy who kind of grabbed Ben Shapiro by the neck. This big blackhead, Duke Nukem, Wolfenstein, Doom guy looking character, big blackhead, Lego head, with a dress on. Miss Doubtfire with a pack of steroids in the back. You understand what I'm saying? That's kind of how Bob Turr, aka Zoe Turr, looked. What they're doing is trying to become part of a victim class. I'm a white guy. I'm seen as, nothing that can be done to me is considered to be a hate crime or something like that. So what I'm going to do is become a woman. Now I have a victim card to play. You see?
7 years since I had my breast cut off, and 8 years since I voted against Trump. I'm now sitting here in the very thing that I despised. And so, as a detransitioner, I will be voting Republican for the first time in my life for Donald Trump because I believe that America in its foundations is great. It's flawed, but it's great.
All right, so there we go. Shout out to her. Shout out to her, realizing the error of her ways, cutting the breasts off and all of that because you want to be part of a particular group. You know, you want to be a victim too. Now, in case you don't remember the whole Bob Tur kerfuffle, can I play it right quick? Okay. Remember the whole Bob Tur? This is many years ago. Many years ago. Now, there was some kind of panel on Dr. Drew. Ben Shapiro was there. Bob Tur, a.k.a. Zoe, was there. And then this happened. Remember this? Let's get some sound.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion. Yeah, this one was wild.
So, imagine this. You're Ben Shapiro. You just, you know what I'm saying, doing your thing, your political thing, talking. And you got this big dude in a purple dress with some pearls on. The biggest blackhead ever. One head, but you're done. Your jaw looking like, I'm talking about you got a steel plate or something in there. Like when Kaya had the accident, had to get the jaw wire, you're looking like that right now. Yeah, I'm not fighting that. I'm not fighting no Bob Tur. Bob Tur look like the kind of guy, if you punch him in the face one time, it ain't gonna do nothing to him. The kind of guy that would get two beers together like Stone Cold Steve Austin and just all over his face. I don't want no problems with that guy, man. And if I get whooped by a guy wearing a dress, it's irredeemable. If I'm on the ground getting stomped in the head by a pair of heels, I'm cool, man. That's going to go on the internet. And it's going to be very embarrassing. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now we got somebody else with TDS on Ring camera. Ring, shout out to the Ring cameras. These have been able to give you a window into how people live all over the country. And I kind of like it. Now, let's see what this TDS case consists of, shall we?
Hi. I want to know how you can vote.
We can't answer the door right now, but if you'd like to leave a message, you can do it now.
Shameful. Are you the one that walks by here and always screaming at people? No, I haven't walked by recently.
that was funny. She was like, hey, are you the one that walks by screaming at people? She was like, nah, I've not walked by recently, but maybe last week I did scream at people. Maybe last week I was kind of like a chihuahua just barking at people as they walk by. Maybe I did do that, but I've not done it in the past couple of days. Okay. Hold on. Let me just get my stream, my mixer is messed up. Give me 1 second to fix that. 1 second. All right, we should be good now, but that distorted sound, it'll do that sometimes. And we're back.
People walk by and scream. Yeah, I'm not surprised. You are voting for the devil. Don't you know that? No. Why are you voting for him? Because I believe he is the moral candidate. Oh my God. F you for that one. That's moral? Exactly right. That's how your side acts. Oh my God. That's he's the most immoral person around. In your opinion, that's okay. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
They always do that. Didn't I just show it? Like, the F you. Like I say, one well-placed N-word right there would be the icing on the cake. That's what they do. F you, flipping you off, walking away. That's what they do. They save their biggest insult for their exit. It's funny to see them in person. It's funny to see them in action.
Yay! God bless you.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, I've not run into anything like that in real life. Out here, it's mega country all day long. It's mega country. Like, close to where I live, you have Marjorie Taylor Greene's district, and that's completely 100% mega country. Ain't no Tampon Tim nowhere around here, so it's cool. It is good. All right, now we have an MS-13 DNC guest who may have accidentally said something that she shouldn't have said. Let's check this out right quick, shall we?
the contrast could not be more stark. Yes, we have a dismal economy, but we are also facing the prospect of fascism. And actually, the economy isn't even that dismal. Things are rebounding, but everyone is talking about the economy. But in fact, we are actually facing the real premise and specter of fascism.
I think on the economy, too, all the data suggests that that's not the case, but there's a feels issue with the economy.
The vibes
things
are poor.
feel expensive.
Vibes, feels. Hey, you're saying it's not an issue with the economy, it's vibes and feels. I'm putting a whole lot of vibes in my gas tank. I'm putting a whole lot of fuels in my grocery basket. It's a whole lot of them. Hey, them groceries are feeling quite expensive. My pocketbook is feeling quite empty because of all these crazy inflation numbers we got going on. Vibes.
People feel bad about it. And even if they don't feel bad about their personal economy, they feel bad or worry about their kids or their neighbors or others. And yes, that is throughout history, Angelo, a ripe climate for an autocrat, which is exactly what Project 2025 ushers in.
Oh my goodness. Like, these people, I don't see how people, like, if you watch this all day, you become radicalized because they're just giving you straight BS. Project 2025, Trump came on TV and said, that's not my thing. I'm not affiliated with it. And then they say he's lying. Why would he lie about that when the things that he said on camera, they put in the same category as Project 2025, meaning it's the same kind of severity. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. If you're not going to deny one thing that he really has said that is in their mind equivalent to Project 2025, why would he lie about Project 2025? Okay, yes. Did I eat a candy bar? Did I go into the work fridge and eat your lunch? Well, look, I ain't eat the lunch, but I did eat your dinner or your breakfast. It's the same. But hey, that's MSNBC. That's MS13 DNC for you. And that lady right there, I've always hated her ever since we went to the White House. I will never forget it. We went to the White House in 2018, 2019. A bunch of young black men, mostly, and some women. We went inside the White House, and then she was like, oh, they desecrated the room, and they were rowdy, and they were raucous, and having a party. It's like, oh, okay, so the black folks getting too loud in the White House. Is that what it is? I didn't know it was a funeral or something in there. I thought it was an event where you can have fun. They got food and drinks and everything else. So what should we do? Just be in there like, come on, man. I do not like her. What's her name? Nicole Wallace. Is that her name? One of the worst people in the world. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm saying the right thing. Yes, that's Nicole Wallace. Yes. Oh, man. I've hated her ever since then. But anyway, shout out to MS13 DNC. Now, this right here was crazy. Listen, we know Jimmy Carter is pretty much deceased. We saw the video of him, mouth open, outside. There didn't appear to be any signs of life. I know when you get to be 100 years old, you're not going to be the same as you were when you were 50. I get it. But this guy looks like there's no life. He looks dead. I don't wish that on him, Secret Service and federal regulators watching. But come on, why can't we just call it how it is? This guy, mouth open, no, not moving. Just, it's like, all right, man, it's over. Let him go. Kamala commented on that. Can you believe what she said? Hold on, let's watch. Let's watch.
So look, if Jimmy Carter can vote early, you can too.
I don't see what's funny. Look at this man. He's pretty much dead in the chair. And she's saying, well, hey, he early voted. He's pretty much dead. So you can too. Ha ha ha. That's Kamala.
So look, if Jimmy Carter can vote early, you can too. So look, if Jimmy Carter can vote early, you can too.
So that's Kamala making fun of obviously impaired and disabled elders. Is that what we do for fun? I don't like that too much at all. But hey, that's Kamala for you. That's Kamala. All right. And they did say he early voted. I'm like, how? How did this man who's pretty much dead, how did he vote? Like, what are we even talking about, really? I mean, come on. Oh, man, this was crazy. Jamal Bryant. My. Jamal Bryant, you're a pastor. You're a preacher, man. Before I go in on Jamal Bryant, I just want to show you what we got here. Now, Jamal Bryant echoed the sentiments of Barack Obama, talking about, well, the brothers are not doing their job. They're not voting. They're not supporting Kamala the way they supported me. We said, hey, man, we don't like that. That's not how you're going to really get the vote. And what does the pimpin' pastor do? Go out and do the exact same thing as a few days later in church. At a mega church, New Birth. Now, before I get into the mega church and who was behind that and this guy's background, let's just play this.
You said something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister.
Yeah. Full stop.
And Mordecai was man enough to know that in order for me to be a man, I got to know how to support a woman. Something is wrong with brothers who don't know how to support a sister.
So, more to shaming. This right here, this whole scene, the pastor, the hooping pastor, that's what, you know, the whole, that's called hooping. That's like a really effective way to preach, I suppose. I don't like hooping pastors. And God, you sound ridiculous. You sound like a Tyler Perry movie. You sound like a stereotype. It's 2024. Don't nobody talk like that no more. And God said, shut up. Just read from the book, normal. You don't gotta do all that extra ridiculous breathing stuff, okay? Take a breath regular like a human being, not no kind of Doberman Shepherd, not no kind of pit bull suffering from some kind of cardiovascular issue. But anyway, that's part of it. I don't like that. And then look at the church congregation. It's all women. It's all women. There's nothing here for heterosexual, correct thinking, forward-thinking men. There's nothing for you in this place. Look at the congregation. Older women. Lady right here has on the Kamala Harris starter pack, right? You got the AKA shirt because Kamala is part of the AKA sorority. If we're going to vote for people based on sorority or fraternity, we're completely doomed. We're doomed. That's not a reason to vote for somebody because they're part of the same gang you are. I'm getting triggered.
It was a sister that
I hate it.
Raised you. It was a sister that taught you how to read. It was a sister that taught you how to bathe yourself.
In the context of the vice president, were you trying to send a message?
That we've got to be able to vote, that misogyny is still real in our community. We've got to address it head on and not act like it doesn't exist. The reality is if black men had voted, Stacey Abrams would be a governor.
So now, not only are you trying to say that it's our fault that Kamala is not really getting support, speaking about black men, you want to double down on it and say, well, you know what? Since I'm talking about the black men, it's your fault that Stacey Abrams lost. Jamal Bryant, you're from Baltimore. We'll talk about that in a minute. You're from Baltimore. You're not from Georgia. Listen, in Georgia, everyone has a gun, whether they be black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe, rich, poor, suburb, hood, city, country. Everybody has a gun. And your friend, Stacey Abrams, Stacey M1 Abrams Tank, ran a campaign against guns in Georgia. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. And listen, be clear. Atlanta is Atlanta. Georgia is not Atlanta. Georgia is Georgia. Georgia is MAGA country. Atlanta is Black Hollywood, right? But even still, you got a lot of conservative black folks and other racist people inside Fulton County. Inside the city of Atlanta proper, you got a lot of conservative people that want their guns, that don't want all this ridiculous, weird stuff to be going on. You're still in the South. You're still in the South. Okay? So maybe Stacey Abrams should run a good campaign that would make us want to vote for her rather than you trying to shame us into doing it because we got the same skin color. That ain't how it's going to work. And you know what? The funny part, like I said before, you wouldn't say all of this if it was Candace Owens running for president or governor or something like that. You'd be the main voice against her, and that'd be fine, although she's black. So all this whole blackity black stuff go out the window then, don't it, huh? Anyway, let me let him finish.
And so I think that we've got to do some real redress. That after racism, the biggest ill in America is sexism. And I think it's part of the responsibility of this generation to deal with it head on.
Sexism, Jamal Bryant. How many baby mamas, child's mothers do you have? You have as many baby mamas as rappers. You got baby mamas like Future. Okay, you are a Pookie in a tailored suit. You are a Pookie in a pair of circular framed, thin frame glasses. That's what you are. You are a Pookie with a very manicured little under soul patch and goatee. Your quarter-inch goatee and soul patch, you have that going on, but you're still a Pookie. You are a hood rat at the end of the day. You were married and got divorced because you cheated on your wife while being a pastor. And the rumor is, the allegation is, you got a 17-year-old church member pregnant in Baltimore, and that's part of the reason why you went to Atlanta to go to the new birth after the molesting pastor, Eddie Long, died of AIDS and went to hell. Okay, that's what you did. So look, the former guy who was at New Birth before you, he can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing. I'm not trying to hear from that kind of ilk, that kind of crowd. Before you want to try to preach to black men about what we should and shouldn't be doing, how about you keep that thing tied away? Keep it tied away. Stop fornicating with the church members. Is that so hard to ask? Is that so hard to ask? You got a girlfriend already. Why you need to be in the church dibbling and dabbling in there? Huh? Guys like that, man, they really are a mess. But these are the kind of people that support the left policies. And you know what? You know why I think he really wants to vote Kamala or leftist policies as a pastor? Is because how would he delete that out of wedlock baby with the church member if not for abortion? You see how that works? Listen, I'm a pastor, praise God, all that. And then every now and again, I kind of sneak off into the congregation. One of the girls might get pregnant and we got to go to Planned Parenthood. That's what Jamal Bryant does. So I don't want to hear from that kind of person living that kind of life about the ways of Christ and the things that I should be doing. Nah, focus on yourself first. Okay, I'm triggered. Now, here's something funny from Barack Obama. This was funny. This was passive aggressive kind of, you know what I mean? That kind of humor. Watch this. Watch, like, the irony here is crazy.
I don't understand how we got so toxic and just so divided and so bitter. And I get why sometimes people just don't want to pay attention to it. And we all have friends like that. We have family members who just like, you know, it's all a circus out there. I get that.
Obama, for real. Obama, you don't know how we got so divided and how there's so much controversy, and you don't know how that happened for real, Obama? You have no idea, Mr. He could have been my son. You have no idea how we got here to this day, my man. I'm gonna play one more time.
I don't understand how we got so toxic and just so divided and so bitter, and I get why sometimes people just don't want to pay attention to it.
You don't understand why we're so divided and so bitter. Barack Obama, really? You just said, hey, black men, we got to do better. You're singling out black men. You're insulting us. You're not giving us any kind of policy. and you're wondering why there's division. Come on, man. You are the chief division sower. You are a division farmer. That's what you do for a living, Mr. Barack Obama. Talking about some, oh, I don't know how we got so much division. It's like someone stealing something from you. And then when they say, hey, my X, Y, and Z is missing, and then you help look for it. Like you don't know where it's at. You know exactly where it's at because you took it. Same thing with you, Obama. You know just how we've gotten right here today. You are part of it. The mainstream media is part of it. Your colleagues on Capitol Hill, they're part of it. You know, it ain't no mystery. Come on, man. We're the ones talking about real unity. Real unity. You guys sow division because that's your strategy to win. Divide and conquer. The tale oldest time itself. So this right here was crazy from Obama to say something like that. It's like, word, for real, Obama, you going to say that with a straight face? Like, unironically, that's wild. That is so wild. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, here's a good video, one that'll warm our heart. We got a lot of black men that want to support conservative policies, that want to support Republicans, that want to support Donald Trump. Much to the dismay, much to the chagrin of a Jamal Bryant and Barack Obama and everybody else. Shout out to Benji Irby on Twitter. Shout out Benji Irby for this video. That's him right there on the right. And of course, we got my main man, Byron Donalds, on the left. Check it out.
2028. We need a real black president. A real, because that first one wasn't real. And this new chick ain't real either. We need you 2028. Just saying. Let's get a picture. 2028. We need a real black president. A real, because that first one wasn't real. And this new chick ain't real either. We need you 2028. Just saying.
Let's get a real black president. That'd be the first one right there. Byron Donalds. And most certainly the lady that's running right now is not black at all. She is not black. And I love how the voters in Philadelphia were able to see that Kamala is not black. And as a matter of fact, before I get to Tampon Tim, because I got a few videos on him, before I get to Tampon Tim, I kind of want to skip ahead to the whole thing, the Philly voters, if I have that one queued up, because that was great. That was fantastic.
And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, like what they thought of that.
Deeply offended.
Now, if you guys don't know what he's talking about, it's the whole thing with Barack Obama. Matter of fact, I'm going to just play it for context. I'm going to play it for context so we can kind of be on the same page. This is when Obama was talking about, well, the brothers, you know, the whole thing. I'm going to keep playing that the same kind of way I keep playing the whole, you know, if you don't know if you're black or not, you know, the thing. What Joe Biden said talking about voting for him or voting for Trump, the whole you ain't black thing. So I always play that, but I'm going to always play this as well. Hold on. Let me get it on the screen if I can. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, here we go. Here is the video that I'm going to play. I'm going to play this all the time.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
Look at that face, man. I wish you would make that face to me. I would like, man, this whole thing infuriated me so much. I'm talking about like on fire. If I was a white guy, I'd be fire truck red right now. I'm talking about I'd be looking like a whole Corvette.
Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
I mean, but look though, but for real, but look, stop, Obama. You can't say that, and she can't say that. You, Mr. Obama, grew up in Indonesia with your mom and your Asian stepdad, Lolo Sortoro. Then, as a teenager, you're like, what, 13, 14, whatever. You go to Hawaii with your white grandparents. You are not from here. It's simple as that. Hawaii, okay, whatever, is a state, but you're not from where we're from. Okay, my granddad came from South Boston, Virginia, a slave plantation. You don't know nothing about that. Your dad is African, your mom is white. Kamala, same thing. Her dad is from Jamaica and is not black. Her mom is from India. You guys don't have our experience. So don't say that you know what it's like to grow up like us. No, you don't. Were you living in the USA during the crack wars? I did. Do you have any family that died in the crack wars? I did. You were over in Hawaii eating mangoes, all kind of bananas. You were doing that, sir. Kamala, you were in Canada eating poutine and whatnot with the Mounties. You were speaking French in Montreal. Stop playing games. You went to a French college for a year before going to Howard to get yourself blackened up. Obama, same thing. You went to Chicago as an adult to get blackened up in the church to be this politician guy you are right now. We were born and bred in this. We're actually Black Americans. You and Kamala are not. So don't try to take our lineage from us. All right. Okay, let me keep going because I'm super triggered. Now, this video is a reaction to the video I just played, okay?
And I just wonder for anybody who heard that, like what they thought of that.
I was deeply offended. And it felt like a moment where it's like, you N-words better get in line and do what we say. And it felt like him as the czar of the Democratic Party coming down to say, go get these N-words in line. And the general tone of it was disgusting. It was abhorrent. I don't respect it. I didn't like nothing about it. And Kamala, 2 days after that, is like, we love our black men. We have programs and things that we're rolling out for them, and she rolled out policy.
Good cop, bad cop. You know, because
I'm tired of the good cop, bad cop. I'm tired of it.
And I just want
exactly 100% correct. 100%. Hey, hold on. Let me get some sound. There we go. Yes. 100% correct. Oh man, that right there really brought me the wrong way. But we got more. We have more. And again, this is from black voters in Philly. They're talking to MS-13 DNC.
Idea of mass deportation, largely.
Let's go back a little bit.
Idea of mass deportation, largely. You have criminals in this country who are destroying our nation. They're coming in here, getting earmarked bills and policies to open up businesses, get free housing, get access, easier access than those who are legally immigrated to this country to welfare and other benefits. So, like, as a taxpayer, we have to pay for these guys to have luxuries of life, and we don't get anything, especially black Americans who suffer so much in the system under Democrats.
Now, as I was saying in my video earlier, some are going to take what he said as you're trying to get handouts. No. Listen, let's hear me out. If we pay taxes, right? I pay taxes. You guys pay taxes. We are Americans. We pay taxes, right? Now, our tax dollars are being spent inappropriately. We're giving the tax dollars to foreign countries, Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, the list goes on. And then we're giving just ridiculous amounts of tax money to the migrants coming in. They're getting these magic cards, $5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand on the card. Now, Americans don't get any of that benefit. I'm not saying we should get a handout, but if there's going to be a handout, let it be Americans and not the migrants. Or don't do it at all. But don't take my tax money and give it to them. Give it to me. Or better yet, how about this? Let me keep it. Rather than taking it from me, let me keep it.
We don't get anything. That's insane. You talked about Springfield, Ohio. And the whole thing with the fluff talk of, grabbing the soundbite about Haitians or whatever is eating cats and dogs. Y'all trying to change the narrative of what he's really talking about. Change the narrative of really what we're talking about. And telling us that's what we should be discussing. No, this here, this is what we're discussing. This here, this is America. And this is what America is about and what we're discussing.
Exactly. This is America. We're talking about America. We ain't talking about foreign people, foreign country. We're in America. If a country wants to talk about what they want, then that's fine. Whatever they want for themselves is fine. And it should be the same thing for us. People sometimes forget that America has people in it. We're actually here. We're born here, raised here. We have people here. And, if we're going to do things to help people, we should help ourselves first rather than other people. Now, we got more. And if you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up.
I believe Trump is going to win because, first off, when people say bad things about him, where does that affect us down here? That doesn't affect our neighborhoods. It has never affected our neighborhoods. We don't even get to see half the things that go on that level.
We know that he's going to win because he is the best for America. He's worried about our economy.
The crime is high. The violence is high. The schools are bad. We can go on and on. Where Democrats have been in charge for 40 years. We're voting for...
Now, can we go back? I'm not necessarily an expert on accents, right? But y'all help me out, please. Do you hear a Haitian accent right here? Yay or nay? Do you think he knows about the whole dogs and the cats? They're eating the dogs. Does he know about it? I'm sure he does. Now, why is he going to be supporting Trump? Well, first of all, I think he might know the reality of diet. Listen, if you come from a third world, I gotta defend the Haitians and everybody else. If you come from a third world country and you can literally die from not eating, and you see a cat, I mean, you're going to eat it. I'm not saying you should do that here in America, obviously, but if you have no food, listen, people don't understand what poverty really is in America. They don't understand. They think poverty is not being able to afford an iPhone. No, poverty is going without food for days, like literally 0 calories for days, to the point where you almost starve and die. So if you see a cat on the ground roaming around, meow, you're going to go ahead and trap that and eat it. I was hearing about North Korea going through the same thing. Any kind of organism that they could capture, they're going to eat it, because if they don't, they can die. The problem is when they come over here and do the same thing to pets, and they go to the park and do the same third world behavior. That's the problem. My man is not worried about none of that. He's like, look, who's going to be the best person to get into the White House and provide a way for me and my family to succeed? Not as in a handout, but getting out the way and providing the best environment for me to succeed. He's worried about that, not all the other stuff that doesn't really matter.
Democrats have been in charge for 40 years. We're voting for Donald Trump unequivocally. Period. No one else is going to persuade us. We 2 weeks out, and we won't sleep until November the 6th.
So you know who you're voting for?
Yes, I'm voting for Trump, definitely.
Tell me why.
He's more strong, like strong-minded in a way. He's focused on what we got to focus on. Like, he doesn't play. That's what I respect about him.
He doesn't play?
Yeah, he doesn't play. He always just stands for what he believes, and he doesn't go back. No matter how many people are bashing him, no matter people is criticizing him, nothing.
He doesn't take BS. He's not going to hear it. He's a businessman. He's not there for the fluff talk of politics. We need someone strong. We need someone who's going to get down to business and take care of what this country needs.
My man, you are already, you're a young guy. You're already on it. Be the mayor of Philadelphia or be the governor or something, man. I'm sure, my man, listen, I'm sure this young man right now can do a better job than Federwoman. Right now, today, this young man can do a better job than federal women. This guy had a brain injury, federal woman that is, a brain injury. He goes to work like he's a mechanic. Hey, if you're a mechanic, shout out to you, but maybe you shouldn't wear your work outfit at Ford Motor Company to go be in the Senate. This guy right here could already be better than federal woman, already.
But also understands what the community needs.
The thing is, we were scared in the beginning because he said he's going to nuke Korea and he's going to nuke Iran, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that. The stock market went up. There were more.
Pretty high right now too.
But look, see, now you got the lady adding her 2 cents. He's saying that stocks were up under Trump and things better under Trump. She's like, oh, well, they're up right now too. Then nobody ask you nothing, lady. Just let my man cook. You don't need to be trying to be a backseat driver giving your 2 cents, okay?
Well, but the thing is, because there was no inflation back then. Democrats take granted, especially minorities. They take for granted because they think Republicans are so out of touch with the minorities' needs, so they don't have any choice. And I think that's going to be a big surprise.
You got pockets that there's an energy for Mr. Trump in the city, but a lot of people just walking down the street, they not feeling the Democrats from time to time, not sure if they're going to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
They may not vote at all. The black men that don't vote for Democrats, it's not what Mr. Trump did, is what have been disappointed with. I'm not a dedicated Republican. I'm voting for the lesser two evils this time, being Mr. Donald Trump.
I'll take it. If you vote for Donald Trump, I'll take it. I think Trump's the best candidate available, and it's not even the contest, man. Kamala is so bad. Joe Biden, even at 1,000 years old, is better than Kamala. Joe Biden at 1 million years old is still better than Kamala, in my humble opinion. All right, which is really bad because he's awful. He's terrible. Now, here was one of my favorite parts of that interview.
What are your feelings? And let me start with the women here about Kamala Harris.
She's a woman of color. I'm not putting her down because of that, and I'm not putting her down because she's a woman. I'm not a feminist, so I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, I don't think that she has the personality. I don't think that she has what it takes to go up against Putin and go up against these other presidents that are built for this. I don't want to be scared because my president is scared. I want my president to feel secure and manly and about it.
We brought up gender, right? Like, do you think it matters that she's a woman and people aren't comfortable having a woman in a top leadership role?
No, I don't think that, because most men, they love their mothers. They love their wives. So as a woman, most men, they respect the woman, but she just don't have the qualification or the education to really run America because she don't have the experience. She don't understand our struggles. And for me to believe you for another 4 years, you're crazy. Right. Like, you're crazy. You're saying the same thing that you said 4 years ago.
So the fact that she's the vice president,
that's
to
just
you
the
is
bottom line.
You're like, you've been here, you've had a chance.
Yes. Well, for me, the very first time I ever heard the name Kamala Harris, it was in association to locking up parents for truancy. That was the first time I ever heard of her name. And I really didn't understand how this person claims to be a black woman, but yet she's locking up black women and black men and separating families.
This is the thing that is, Trump talks about this a lot. He says, Kamala Harris became black when it was convenient.
Right. Yeah.
Can you talk to me about, do you agree with him on that? Do you feel like she's wearing her blackness?
Absolutely. When she's sworn into the Senate, it was as the first Indian American.
Thank you.
Which is, it's fine. We don't care.
We all know she's not black. Let's understand that. We are all clear of that. But my point of view, and like I told you earlier, she's already been there. She's in office right now.
Very, very well done. I love it. I want to hear more of this from the community. Just common sense. She's not black. We already know that. We know that she ran in the Senate and it was all Indian American, first Indian American. That's what it was. When about being black, it was about being Indian. Now all of a sudden, oh, I'm black. Oh, for real? That's what you identify as today? Oh, okay. You're not black though. We're not. But that whole black card, it's not really working. It worked with guys like Jamal Bryant, guys that talk about I'm a pastor, but yet I got 10 baby mamas. Guys like that it'll work with, but people with brains that function properly in society, we're not believing it. We're not believing it. It's just not working. And even if she was black, so what? And how is that going to make a difference as far as voting for you or not? It doesn't make a difference. All right, we got more here. We have more. And if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got a press conference with Kamala. This might have been the town hall, I think. It's a CNN thing with Maria Shriver. It's funny because Maria Shriver was married to Arnold, and Arnold had a child with the nanny, the housekeeper or whatever. Same thing with Doug Emhoff, her husband, Kamala's husband, allegedly got the nanny pregnant. The rumor is that Doug Emhoff got the nanny pregnant when he was married, well into his 40s. He was not some kind of just young guy out here. No, got the nanny pregnant and gave her like some money, 40 grand, 80 grand, whatever. Gave her some money and had her delete the baby. Now, Doug Emhoff has not denied that. He ain't denied that. So Kamala and Maria Shriver got something in common. But first things first, look at this. Now, you know how when Biden does some of these events, these press conferences or whatever, he'll have a little card, a little index card, right? And on the index card, he has to read, okay, I'm calling on Ruby Smith from Associated Press. Go ahead. That's what he'll do. Probably because it's already choreographed. You calling on certain people, they're going to ask you a certain question, and you give a pre-programmed response. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Now, Biden had a cue card for this. Look at what Kamala is doing. Watch this. I'm not making this up. This is not a fake video. Look at this.
We're going to go to Colleen at the AP.
Hi. Did you see that? So it was just a guy on the side saying, okay, call on that person. Kamala, they couldn't give you an index card so you could just read it for yourself. You got to have a handler call on somebody for you. What in the world is that? Like, what is that? Watch one more time.
We're going to go to Colleen at the AP.
Look at this. Hands. Okay. So, yeah, Kamala, call the lady right there and tell her to ask you a question. We already discussed this. You already went over it. You should know the answer. Okay. So just do that. This right here is not a leader, an employee. She's being ordered around. She's not a leader. A leader would call on who they want to call on and answer a question rather than being directed physically. Hey, pick him right there. This is nuts.
We're going to go to Colleen at the AP.
Hi. Madam Vice President, do you think that Republican voters, and specific women voters, will be more likely to vote for you because of the fall of Roe?
Okay, so that's that. Now we got some more here.
If I can just speak to what people are feeling. We cannot despair. We cannot despair. You know.
Now on stage we have some goofy people in the background. Maria Shriver, Arnold's ex-wife, and we have Liz Cheney. That's not really inspiring for me. All this girl power. Look, you know that most Americans really don't want to vote a woman to be the president. You know that already. So what do? You double down by bringing Maria Shriver and Liz Cheney. Like, how is that going to help you? You better bring Arnold. You might, rather than bringing Maria Shriver, you might as well have brought Arnold. That might help you a little bit. But I don't think Arnold would want to be on stage with you right now.
No. The nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact. An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. And so that's the moment we're in. And I say do not despair, because in a democracy, as long as we can keep it in our democracy, the people, every individual has the power to make a decision about what this will be. And so let's not feel powerless. Let's not let and I get it, overwhelming nature of this all make us feel powerless, because then we have been defeated. And that's not our character as the American people. We are not one to be defeated. We rise to a moment.
What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Is this story time with Kamala? It's a bedtime story? Because look, I'll tell you what. You know what? I'll give Kamala one thing. I'll give her a little bit of credit. If she was to pivot into telling bedtime stories to induce sleep, then yeah, she should just do that. If I hear this at night, I'll be like a light out. Boom. I'm like a rock. Sleep. That kind of sleep right there would be going to your granny house and getting that good sleep. That's that extra sleep. When you're hearing the cuckoo clock and whatnot in the background, refrigerator buzzing, window AC buzzing, it's a little hot in there even with the AC, you are out like a light. So yeah, I don't know what she's saying right there, but I guess it's important to her. That is what they decided to do on television. It was a mess. All right. Is there more? A little teeny bit. All right. Just a little bit of cringe for you.
And that we debate it out, have good vigorous debates, have a good fight over policy. That's good for democracy.
No. No.
We have to tap into and rejoice, frankly, in the spirit of who we are as Americans. And we are an ambitious people. We have aspirations. We have dreams. We are optimistic by nature. And we, I think, value certain qualities in our leaders.
That word salad, man. Listen, the word salad is crazy. Word salad. Hey, straight romaine lettuce, no nutrition. I can't get no crouton, no Caesar dressing, no shredded cheese, no Roma tomatoes, no black olives, no nothing. Just straight up lettuce in the bowl. I can't do nothing with that. I might as well drink some water. Hey, this will do better than that word salad because it's no nutrition. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. Some word salad is like fast food, right? It's no nutrition, but at least it tastes good, right? A little teeny bit, but that right there is nothing. That right there is nothing, Kamala. Like, I don't. But some people still say they're going to vote for her regardless. All right, I'm going to kind of speed ahead a little bit here because Tampon Tim, what's your opinion about Tampon Tim? Is it something kind of fruity going on? A little light in the loafers, perhaps?
Or like Tim Wall.
RP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise. Tucker Carlson has an interesting opinion about Tampon Tim. Check it out.
Or like Tim Walz is very obviously gay. I look at him, I'm like, well, you're gay. And I'm sure I'll be attacked for saying that. Maybe he's not gay, but he certainly seems gay.
Right. They immediately say, where's your evidence?
I don't have any evidence. I'm just saying the guy looks super, super gay to me. But they're the ones always running on being like, it's great to be gay. Okay, if it's great to be gay, then why is it an attack on him for me to say that?
But they always do that, Tucker, because what they'll do is as soon as they got a problem with you, they'll call you gay. But then at the same time, they'll say that it's okay to be gay. So which one is it?
And why would it be out of bounds to be like, hey, Tim Walz, you seem super gay. Are you gay? Have you ever slept with dudes? Like, if you ask that question, you'd be fired from your job.
You're just asking that now. It's very controversial, right?
But why would that be controversial? If there's nothing wrong with it,
right?
Then why is it so offensive to ask that question?
Right.
I don't like. This doesn't make any sense.
I think ultimately, Democrats.
So, what do y'all think? You think Tampon Tim might be a little light in the loafers?
Look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a dipshit on.
Sorry for the cussing.
These things, you know it. Look,
I'm gonna play it again, but I'm gonna try to censor it. Okay, I'm gonna try to censor it.
Look, Elon's on that stage, jumping around, skipping like a on these things. You know it.
So he's talking about Elon Musk dancing around, twirling and stuff like that on stage. Because remember, he went out there with Trump. He was kind of like jumping around. Remember that? So Tampon Tim talking about that, right? Okay. Now, Tampon Tim, be careful, man. Don't throw stones if you're living in a glass house now. Okay. Because we got dirt, we got video, we got evidence, we got long memories. We do, Tampon Tim. This is you at one of the first Kamala rallies.
Governor Tim Walz.
Turn music down, but you see what's going on. Hey, waving, all this good stuff. Like, what is all this? You might as well go rah, rah, sis, boom, bye. You might as well do that. A whole cheerleader. So, I mean, Tim, what are we doing here?
I know many people of you say I'm tired of this. Trust me, I am too. We're fatigued. We're fatigued from it.
All right. So are you in church saying that? I'm not really sure.
Is the concern that they have that a Harris-Walz, team would be too liberal, or, do they point to, in Minnesota, you allowed tampons in different bathrooms and
tampons in different bathrooms. They're so funny with the way that they use words. Just like when there was a paper, what was it, LA Times? LA Times normally endorses the Democratic presidential candidate. They've done that ever since, I forget, like the 90s. I'm not exactly sure when, but it's been quite a while. Up until 2020. But 2024, all of a sudden, they don't want to endorse. Now, there was a headline that says, LA Times refuses to endorse for president. Huh? Aren't you missing something? Aren't you missing the subject of the sentence? Who are they refusing to endorse? Refuse to endorse? They refuse to endorse a Democratic presidential candidate. They refuse to endorse Kamala Harris. Okay? That's what's going on. Look at that. Where's the joy? Tampon Tim, where's the joy? I thought you guys are all about joy. That does not appear to be a very joyful face. Can we get a smile? Big smile. Jazz hands. You know how to do that, don't you? You're very good at smiles and jazz hands. Let's get some of that. The straight face, there's not a lot of joy there, man. I'm not feeling the joy.
People were allowed to play sports, and oh my God, we're all going to be communists. Like, what are they?
Our children are eating breakfast and lunch.
Right. But is that what is the?
But you didn't really get to the point of the topic there that he raised, which was the tampons in the boys' bathroom. Kind of just let that ride. If you didn't do it, you would say, "Hey, that's a rumor. We didn't happen." You did that.
What's the barrier? Yeah. What do you find is the barrier to them being able to place that?
Well, for a lot of them, they've never crossed over that line. I mean, it really is, and you can say it about Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney and some of those.
So these faces, man, they don't understand how to really have a resting face, a pleasant face. That's not really what I want to see in the morning talking at me. All right.
The Cheney thing. Do we really have to do that?
Look, it goes broader than that. Look, Bernie Sanders, Dick Cheney, Taylor Swift.
No.
That one. The shooting?
No.
Having the Cheneys on board?
Nah. You can't Dick Cheney or Taylor Swift. No.
Yeah, nah. That's a big leap there, sir.
We're a big tent.
What country did Taylor Swift get us to invade? No.
Yeah. No, don't you think, though, that, and I do this, I believe this, there is still a core group of folks out there, your point being, and not joke, the don't tread on me, the Reagan piece of this, the libertarian piece, but the constitutional piece, there are a lot of people out there. I think Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney give permission to those folks who want to find a reason to do the right thing.
So basically, you're trying to say that they're like an off-ramp from conservative ideology. I feel like if you are a big fan of Liz Cheney, you're pretty much already going to be voting for a Tampon Tim type individual. Okay. So Spike Lee trying to do the whole shaming black men thing.
Curious.
One thing all these guys got in common. Look, okay. Listen, Spike Lee, you have on an olive and purple checkerboard blazer and white thick-framed, circular glasses with a Yankee hat on and a lanyard with a chain on it, with like a medallion. What can you tell me? And you're wearing makeup, a lot of bad makeup. What can you tell me about being a man or how to vote or how to live my life? What are you really going to tell me?
Curious what you would say to people who look at this. We've heard a lot about cutting people up into groups, which on this program we've discussed the limitations of that. But on the one hand, it is white men who are skeptical of Kamala Harris. It is white and Latino men that are breaking towards Trump.
I know what the question is. Continue. Continue.
Should I continue?
So the game now from MS-13, DNC, all these alphabet letter organizations, get black men on air to insult black men who don't want to vote for Kamala. That's the whole game plan. We've seen it time and time again. Barack Obama, Jamal Bryant, this guy right here, Fat Nat Roland Martin, all these guys that want to insult us. I mean, try doing something different. Try actually leading with policy. The insulting angle do not, but it won't do anything other than just radicalize me more. That's all it's going to do.
You can go ahead. If you got the gist of it, go ahead.
Well, it's sad but true. Some of my brothers have been drinking that Kool-Aid. And I just hope that they get their minds straight, get their minds right in time for this election. If they're conscious, if they're aware, there's nothing that this other guy can do that's going to put us, not just black folks, but Americans in a better position going forward.
So that's Spike Lee. I ain't gonna play the whole thing. But look at your appearance, man. Look at how you look, though. Like, you're like I don't even know, man. You can't tell me nothing. Rather than just trying to say I gotta get my mind right, give me some real reasons why. That ain't really gonna work, man. Get my mind right, tighten up, get your mind right. Hey, I'm not the one wearing white tinted makeup on television with a checkerboard blazer on. I'm not doing that. You're doing that. You're doing that. Mark Cuban is blaming algorithms for Trump's strong support among male voters.
And you're
all right. Let's check it out.
On The View talking about how social media has created a gender gap in American politics. First of all, I just wanted to know, how did you get on that topic? How did you sort of realize that?
So they asked me about the gender gap, and I'm a geek, right? I use all technology. You know, you want to know the difference between Perplexity, ChatGPT, Gemini, I'll tell you. So I'm that geeky. And when they asked me, I thought about it before, because it's obvious. You know what it's like, right? You're scrolling. And the more you look at one thing, if you watch one video, you're getting more of those videos. And for guys, it's even more so, because you start watching football, then you get an Andrew Tate video, that leads to a Donald Trump video, and then you get more and more Donald Trump videos, and it's just a reinforcing loop. And so that's why I got to that conclusion.
And you were recently on The View.
So basically, you're trying to say that, you know, we're being on our smartphones, we're watching videos, that's causing us to become conservative Trump supporters. Is that really what it is? Knowing how much big tech has been against Trump and conservatives and shadow banning and all that kind of stuff. That's what's going on. You want to say that, Mark Cuban, for real? Or how about this? Maybe guys are voting in their best interest. Before the internet existed, we've done the same thing. Men have been the same. Men have been the same since the dawn of man. We're not different at all. We're doing what we've always done. The algorithms will they'll provide what we want. It's a feedback. You want certain things, you watch certain things, and you're gonna get more of it. Just like Fat Nat Roland and that man and his hind parts showing appeared on his Twitter. It's because somebody, I don't know if it was Roland or his assistant or whoever, somebody liked to watch guys in certain positions or whatever, okay? That's why he was able to get that on his feed. You get what you like. If you go to your Instagram and you go to the search page and you see certain things on there, you like that stuff. If you're seeing DIY videos and cooking videos, because you like that. If you're seeing something else, okay, you're seeing booty models because you looking at it. So don't blame the algorithm for what you like, okay? Roland did that. Oh, it's Twitter, sir. Somebody was looking at men's on your page. That's why the man popped up with no draws on. All right, let's check this out. And more from Mark Cuban.
I just kind of wanted to know, like, the role you play as a businessman and as a father. What are you doing to sort of, I guess, close that gap? Is it talking to people like me and journalists and talking to young voters? I guess, where's your role in this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a chameleon.
I just kind of wanted to know.
All right, so yeah, he's a chameleon. That's what he is. Yeah, just go with the flow. That's pretty much what's going on. Now, do I have more? I got more. Oh, we gotta cover Trump at McDonald's, of course, before I get to the calls. Now, this was funny though. The MS-13 DNC covering Trump's visit at McDonald's. This was hilarious. Listen to what they said if you've not heard it yet. And if you have heard it, let's go ahead and run it back.
I mean, if you're on his campaign, and I know you are certainly not, I'm not making any implication of that, but what is the logic behind this, going to a McDonald's? I mean, we know the guy likes Big Macs and filet of fish, and he's used the word love to describe the way he feels about the food there before. But what's this about?
There's no logic to it. It's a stunt. He has not put forth an economic agenda. He, as you know, appears to be not well, and he's engaged in some really bizarre types of activities during this campaign. So this is just another one of those stunts that he will continue on through the campaign. And I think that we need to really focus on making sure that he is not elected, of course, because he is a threat to our democracy, but also the Harris loss agenda is about the economy, reducing the cost of living, reducing the cost of prescription drugs, reducing the cost of housing, and making life better for everyone. And that's what we have to focus on and make sure we get every voter to the polls and make sure that the voters vote for the future, not taking the country backwards, as you see what Donald Trump continues to try to do. So I'm urging and encouraging everyone to get to the polls and vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to be their next president and vice president.
So, yeah, I mean, these people, they're so funny. Trump, goes to, they said it was staged. They said this was staged. Oh, it's a staged thing. It's a staged thing. He didn't really work there. You think Trump's going to actually work there and be serving people like a normal person? Is that even possible? I mean, come on now. Let's just be serious. The guy got shot in his head a few days ago. Is he just going to be in there on a regular shift? All right, I'm going to just come in here, clock in, and work 8 hours? Come on, man. Why we got to be so silly? Why we got to be so silly? Come on, man. That's just common sense. Of course, it's going to be a controlled environment. It's the president. Let's stop playing games here. And then when Kamala goes and flips burgers, that's not staged. Okay, that's for some reason not staged. Secret Service ain't right there protecting her the same way they protect Trump. Okay. And let me see if I have the flipping burgers situation. All right. Shout out to Kamala. All right. So, look, here we go. So, when Trump goes to Mickey D's, it's staged. What's this, though? How many people have this big TV camera right over their shoulder when they're flipping burgers in the restaurant they work at? Okay. And Secret Service is right there, right behind her, right next to her. I mean, let's be serious. Let's be all the way serious. If what Trump did is staged, then so is this. But like I say, it's when you are one person, you get away with it. Somebody else, not so much. not so much. You got a whole big TV news camera right there over the shoulder. But that's totally regular. It's totally normal to go to a place, work a shift, and then Channel 10 News is right over your, you know what I mean, over your ear, breathing in your neck. That's what's going on. So yeah, shout out to her. But we got more from Trump and McDonald's.
It's a great franchise. It's a great company, and they've been very, very nice. And you know, if you look at really what's happening, look at the crowd over there. Look how happy everybody is. They're happy because they want hope. They need hope. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to give much more than hope.
What does working the fryer tell you about the people of Pennsylvania?
Make it fact.
Mr. President, you actually have worked at McDonald's now versus...
Now I have worked at McDonald's. I've now worked for 15 minutes more than Kamala.
Are you going to put this on your resume?
I never worked here.
Why would she lie about something like that?
Will it be put on your resume?
Worked at McDonald's.
Why would she lie about that?
Why? Because she's lying, Kamala.
Exactly. That's why, because she lies. But this right here, iconic. Iconic. Put that on a t-shirt. Put it on I gotta put it on a t-shirt. Speaking about it. That's perfect. Like that whole thing right there, perfect. Let's keep on going.
Everybody. Hey, I'm having a lot of fun here, everybody.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hello, everybody.
You can take this, right?
Everybody.
Hey.
Thank you, honey. Have a good time. Thank you. It's cute. This is fun. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Have a good I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again.
Thank you.
Look at that.
Mr.
Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much
You
for
are not
everything you're
ordinary.
doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much. Yeah, I took a bullet. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
When you think about it, I guess that's right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind.
So Trump's big racist guy, you got guy from the Indian subcontinent coming up to him, giving them nothing but love. Everybody from all walks of life, black, white, Puerto Rican candy stripe, everybody coming up to him.
This job.
All right, let's keep on going.
Oh, you're very stingy with this product. Look at that. He's a good worker. You want to have that's the kind of people you want to have work. You give them one fresh fry to 30 reporters outside.
Would you like us 2 in a bag?
2 in a bag, yeah. Okay. 2 in a bag. Oh, you're very...
That was funny, though, because we've all had that moment looking in the bag and it ain't that many fries in there, or you being a little stingy with the fries, and can I get another sauce? But at the same time, he gave a natural human reaction because we've all said that. But also he's saying, you know what, that's a good thing because you're going to protect the money. You're not just giving my product away. Obviously, when you're dealing with a restaurant, you got to just order more stuff because you're giving out more stuff. All that stuff counts. Giving out extra nuggets, giving out extra sauces, giving out extra fries. All that stuff at a certain point has a cost to it. It might be a small cost, but the costs add up and it impacts the bottom line. So he gave the natural human reaction, but then also the business owner reaction of you're going to save money. But yeah, that look right there with the looking in the bag, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. And shout out to McDonald's. Listen, as I was saying before, I eat like a monk. I eat very, very strict. Like today, what did I have today? I baked some thinly sliced and lightly seasoned chicken breast with avocado oil. Baked that with some jasmine rice, avocado toast. Low calorie, whole food, cook, all of that. That's how I normally eat. But when I want to be adventurous, when I want to live on the wild side, I go to McDonald's. Now, I know it ain't the best thing for me, but it's okay. I don't smoke no crack or nothing, so I can have a McDonald's chicken sandwich here and there. When I normally eat like a month, when I normally eat 100% organic whole food, I can go and do that for a little cheat day. Some people like to go, smoke crack for their cheat day. I like to eat a McDonald's chicken sandwich. That's what I enjoy doing, but still can keep my physical fitness. All right. And I'll tell you one thing, though. If you're going to eat processed food or some restaurant food, that's not really a bad place to go. Some of these places you're eating stuff that's been in the microwave, it's been deep fried. They got all kind of preservatives. You go to an Olive Garden. Last time I checked, what they're going to do is they got your meal in the freezer. They're going to warm it up and serve it to you. So what's in that meal? What kind of preservatives and chemicals and whatnot is in that meal before it comes to you? Anyway, I don't want to get too deep into a food conversation, but yeah, McDonald's not that bad, actually. It's not that bad compared to a lot of other restaurants. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I think that'll be it for the videos. We got calls to get into. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And I do normally eat 1 meal a day. I'll probably eat some more a little bit after I get done with this. I might have the rest of the avocado toast. What I'll do, I'll cut up an avocado and like aroma tomato or two, put that in a glass bowl, eat half of that with some toast. And then I might eat the other half after I get done with this. Handful of peanuts, not roasted nuts, just regular peanuts. And that's kind of how I eat. I'm completely like the way I eat, the average person couldn't do it. And I've been doing that for a long time. So yeah, I'll treat myself. Shout out to UCSC. I'll treat myself to a chicken sandwich and a medium fry with a water that I get from the house. Like, I'm this kind of guy. I'll drink coconut water. Okay, that's what I'll drink. Oh, it don't taste good. I don't even think like that. This, to me, is delicious. But to the normies, because I eat so strangely, it's different. But when I want to live on the wild side and let my hair down, okay, let the locks just flap in the wind, I'll go to Mickey D's. I'm too skinny. I'm not skinny at all. When you see me in person, I'm not a skinny person. I'm just not a fat person. Okay, let's keep on rocking here. Super chats on deck. Shout out to Apple again, who says, you see Letitia James standing up for Trump? Or is it a standing ovation for Trump at New York dinner? I'm not sure. I've not seen that. Shout out to Apple again, who says, how does Letitia James live with herself, criminal? Hey, that's a good question. Apple again says, you see Obama rapping Lose Yourself by Eminem? Hey, Barry, 1999 call. They want their rap song back. You think Mr. Obama's recent campaigning going to help? It's not going to do anything. So Eminem came out on stage with Barry. Let me see if I can find a picture. I ain't going to show no speech or nothing like that because I'm not interested in hearing Eminem talk about politics. But he came on stage with Barry. And I guess that's like a thing. Hold on. I'll play a little bit.
Detroit. What up, though? So look, I wrote down a few things I wanted to say. I love you too. Thank you.
So that's Eminem out there campaigning for Kamala and Tampon Tim in Detroit, where he's from. Where he's from, Warren, Michigan, but I guess it's all in the same area, right? I guess it's all in the same area. But Eminem, I would, you know what? Can we do like a Q&A? Anybody that's young, like Gen Z, do y'all know who that is, really? Do y'all know who this guy is? Do anybody that's Gen Z, name me 3 Eminem songs right now without going to Google, without looking it up, without going to TikTok and searching it. Name me 3 Eminem songs right now. Last I heard from Eminem, for real, I was like in high school or right around that time. I don't think if you were born after 2000, you know who that guy is. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's more popular than what I believe. But Eminem was out there campaigning for Tampon Tim and Kamala with Mr. Obama. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate that he was out there, but hey, it is what it is. And there they go. All right. So Eminem might be about a good 5'8"-ish, 5'7", 5'8". Obama's like 6'1"-ish, 6'2". Obama's like my size, but I'm bigger than him physically, but probably about the same height. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a short king. I'm just pointing out something that's obvious right in front of my face. So yeah, shout out to them. Let's keep on going. Thank you to Apple again, who says ABL opinion on Mark Cuban, bigger tool than Deutsch. I'm not a fan of either one. Thank you to Shalisha, who says ABL for president, American flag emojis, Trump 2024. Thank you. Thank you to HP Benin, who says appreciate you, ABL. Thank you for your very kind words and being a member. Thank you to Apple again, who says ABL, you like dentist visits? How are your teeth? Cavity? I'm not a big fan of dentists, but I got pretty good teeth. They always thought I had braces as a kid. When I would go to the dentist, they'd be like, oh, you had braces as a kid? Like, what's going on? It's hereditary. Like, everybody in my family, on my mom's side, got the same set of teeth. Everybody. When we do a picture as a family, it's like, where's Waldo? We all got the same kind of expression. So shout out to mom and that side for the teeth. shout out to them. Shout out to Apple again, who says, I love Trump working at Mickey D's and how Trump gave the Clemson Tigers every fast food choice at the White House. ABL, you love McDonald's. How about Dairy Queen, A&W, Wendy? I don't do all that. I go to McDonald's and that's it. I don't go to no other fast food spot but McDonald's. I used to go to Chick-fil-A, but something with their I don't know, man. They do something with their ingredients to kind of make me break out. But the best place for fast food is not going to tear me up, make me break out, easy to digest, is McDonald's. Period. Shout out to Apple again, who says Memphis designated as most dangerous city in USA. I don't know about that. I mean, in certain parts of the city, yes, but it's not widespread all over the city. Shout out to Apple again, who says ABL, a little love for New York Liberty, WNBA champs. Hey, shout out to them. But if I could watch paint dry rather than watching them, I would. If I had the choice between watching paint dry, listen, I'm talking about like white paint on the white wall. If I could just watch that dry for 3 hours rather than watching the WNBA game, I'm watching the paint dry. It is what it is. Apple also says favorite Batman, West, Keaton, Kilmer, Clooney, Bale. The best Batman for me was probably, my favorite personally was Michael Keaton because of when that movie came out. I was a kid. It was like kind of like the permanent image of Batman with Michael Keaton. But ever since then, I think Christian Bale did a good job. You left out Affleck. I liked Affleck as Batman, actually. I thought he did a good Batman. Ben Affleck. Batfleck. But really, Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck in that order. Val Kilmer was okay, but he wasn't. I put him number 4. Clooney and Adam West, that's old school. That's old school. That's Nick at Night type. I don't really count that. Anyway, Apple says trans man soccer team loses 19-0 versus men in Spain. Andrew Rivera says, hey, ABL, the Democratic Party campaign as if black people are in a perpetual fight for civil rights. I am so happy to see black people pushing back on that idea. Absolutely. 100%. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says the update on the LA Times story is the editor resigned because the owner did not allow endorsement of either candidate. Okay, interesting. I'm about to check that out. Very, very interesting. Because they did allow it before because they endorsed all the other candidates that were Democrat for 20 years or so. Thank you to Kyrus Proximus, who says, now New Scum wants to take Second Amendment away. Good luck with that. Come and take it. Kyrus Proximus also says, New Scum is now campaigning for Harris in Seattle. Clown emoji. Kyrus Proximus says, Trump at McDonald's, now Listeria hits. Coincidence? There's always something. There's always some kind of funny business going on. Thank you to Brent Armstrong, who says, Warren is not Detroit. Hey, that's why I had to say Warren and not Detroit specifically, because I know how people are. It's not Detroit. It's like Atlanta. You could live in Sandy Springs. It's not Atlanta. But, okay, close enough. Close enough. You're right on the line. I could walk and throw a rock at Atlanta. It's right there. Shout out to Michael Crislow, who says Tulsi Gabbard switched from the Democratic to Republican Party at Trump's rally in North Carolina. I think I did have that. Hold on. Give me a second. I think I did have that. I did have it. I don't know. It must have gotten away from me. Let me see if I can put it up right quick. And if you like what you're hearing, sorry, I know what to do. All right. Let me see if I got it right quick.
And it is because of my love for our country, and specifically because of the leadership that President Trump has brought to transform the Republican Party and bring it back to the party of the people and the party of peace, that I'm proud to stand here with you today, President Trump, and announce that I'm joining the Republican Party.
So there we go. Shout out Tulsi Gabbard joining the Republican Party. Very good. Very, very good. I like to see that in action. Now, let's just stick with the conservative principles. Let's stay focused. Don't be weird. And we're all good money. So shout out to her. I'll play the rest of it right quick.
I'm joining the party of the people, the party of equality, the party that was founded to fight against and end slavery in this country. It is the party of common sense and the party that is led by a president who has the courage and strength to fight for peace.
There we go. So shout out to Tulsi Gabbard. Shout out to her. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We got more supers, and we're going to get to the calls. Thank you to Michael Crislow, who says Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, I already showed that one. Halliburton for Life, thank you for your super chat saying change his name to Feminem, shaking my head. Thank you to Chell Zan, who says, same here, ABL. Kiss from a Rose was a great song that came from that Batman. Also, my kids know Eminem's music. They're Gen Z. I loved him. Not anymore. Wow. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for being here. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description if you want to join in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. If Skype doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man because it ain't my fault. Thank you to Sarah Wallace, who says, all these celebs are supporting Kamala after the feds bust Diddy. Coincidence? With the pencil emoji? Hey, that's a very good question. Let me get my sound together and let's keep on rocking here. Okay. There we go. That should work. Let's go to 843. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
What's happening?
It's Rocco calling from South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, my man. How you doing?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Go Gamecocks.
Right on.
Hey, look, I know you touched a little base. You show a little bit of Eminem. Look, dude, you know he didn't do that for free. You know he had to be paid to do that.
Oh,
Seriously.
yeah. A big bag of money.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm glad you've been bringing up the Batmans. Michael Keaton, yeah, he was the first one to really take on the role to get, the DC Comics rolling with that and everything. The dude was too short, though, man. And I'm not saying that just because of the negative stuff he said about, don't vote for Trump. But Adam West, though, man, look, I'm 57 years old. I grew up watching Batman on TV. You got to admit, that Batmobile is the coolest Batmobile. Do you agree with that?
I forgot how it looked on the old school show. I got to look it up.
Oh, man, just look up the old Batman. A lot of people in the chat, some more people. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Love you. But, yeah, check that out when you get a chance. To me, that's been the coolest Batmobile ever. That's it. What I want to say was I'm going to early vote. Shout out. I'm going to vote tomorrow. Shout out to you for getting your early vote in. I think anybody that's going out, talking to everybody in the chat, you got such good people in this chat, wise people, smart people. Pay attention to what's going on when you go in to vote. And if somebody ain't showing their ID or anybody running that place saying, oh, no, it's okay. No. You need to voice yourself and say, no. They don't have an ID. They don't vote. We have to do everything that everybody that's an American in this room, in this chat, that's born and raised an American, you can't do anything without a social security number. You need ID. You need a driver's license. So come on, man. Let's all just, when we're going to vote, just don't be thinking about yourself. Look around. Pay attention. If you got to whip out your phone. Put them on. Blast them. Blast them all over social media. Because that's how you got to get the word out, because these people are going to try to cheat again. We know this. It's not going to be like last time, though. It's not going to be like last time. 2020, everybody already knows, hey, yeah, it happened. We know it. What I wanted to ask you specifically, ABL, and I'm going to get off after this because I don't want to ramble on too long. If the deciding factor comes down to them, and in your heart and your soul, they stole it again, what do you think about states becoming their own republic?
Well, I don't believe in election being stolen. I think it's going to be a state issue because every state has their own laws. So I think that that's the way to solve that. But to speak about states becoming their own republics, that I'm not necessarily against that, not because of the elections, but because I hate the federal government in general. So I'm not necessarily against that. I think that eventually that might happen. We may become like the European Union, where they have their own individual countries, but they work together sometimes under a certain framework. That's the way it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, Brexit, that they've already, look, United Kingdom's done already, man. This is serious, very serious. Not only, this is for our freedom, man. This is for our freedom. This election is monumental. I mean, it's going to be historical, but it has to be monumental. I'm not saying it's going to be a landslide. I never, ever think anything's going to be like that, because you're always going to have the naysayers. You're always going to have the polls. They're always going to be close. I mean, every election has always been that way. If you watch it, Trump's never ahead. And when you're deep down, at one point he has to go ahead in one state, but he never does. So I don't pay attention to that. But I'm just saying we have to get out there and just be aware, and everybody look and everybody pay attention, and it's going to be great. Trump 2024, Trump Vance. Let's go, USA. I love you. I love your show. See ya.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you. All righty. Shout out to the caller. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to Les. What's happening?
Hey, ABL. How are you?
It's all good.
That's good to hear. Huge shout out to you and everybody in the chat. I love your show today. It is absolutely amazing. I loved how you show a lot of the street interviews today.
Oh, yeah. Those are my favorite, because you get to talk to people directly rather than just trying to guess people are feeling. Go straight to them and get their point of view.
Now, did you get those off of the TikToks?
Nah, I got those all from Twitter.
Yeah, I was about to say, well, thank God for the TikToks, right?
Right.
God bless Twitter, though. I just wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things. So about the Jamal Bryant being a false pastor or false preacher, however you want to put it. I think that he's doing such a huge disservice, right, to God's flock, because that's their whole purpose up there, is preaching to God's flock what the word of Christ really is, what it means. And it is just really, really sad to see, honestly, ABL. But what I did wanted to go ahead and say, and I don't care if I get criticized for it. I did hear this somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense that in reality, if you are a Christian, you cannot vote Democrat. You can't be a Democrat at the same time being a Christian, just because of what the Democrats stand for. And let's not even talk about, and it's not just even honestly like abortion or the modern day like genocide that they're trying to do, especially with all these toxins and these chemicals and big pharma, and how they give so much fuel to big pharma to in reality not only keep us sick for a long period of time, but ultimately to kill us, right? But let's go ahead and talk about, and I love to shed this light a lot. Let's not forget this, right? How they try to in reality shove down that poisonous agenda of there's that narrative of this whole transgender community, and how they tried and they managed to succeed in confusing a lot of children that if I don't want to be my biological sex today, I can be whatever I want, and then to go and say, oh, you can be a cat and we're gonna have litter boxes in the classroom. No, like how dare he, and how dare a lot of other pastors that we have seen and that have been exposed to this nonsense. It's very disgusting. And it's honestly, it's like so evil, ABL. And if a lot of people, if people refer even to the Bible in Matthew 18, it states the greatest in the kingdom of heaven is the children. And anyone who causes them to stumble, it is better for them to hang a huge stone around their neck and drown in the depths of the sea. So you cannot come over here and tell me, yeah, I believe in God, but I'm also voting Democrat. No way in HE double hockey stick, okay? Now, leading up to that, I want to go ahead and say, I want to give a huge shout out to the parents that are actually doing their job and doing their due diligence, parenting, and actually teaching and guiding their children right from wrong, what it means to be a conservative, and the opposing the opposing side, which is obviously the liberal Democrats. So that one video that you showed about how the little girl said Trump, and she stated why she said Trump, but mom was saying Kamala. ABO, she got a strong daddy at home, okay? So that is a really good example, and I want to go ahead and just applaud those parents that are doing their job as parents, parenting their children. And even though, because when I started on all this ABO, like for me, to be honest, it's just a little personal story. But I always grew up with my grandfather saying, always vote Republican. I never knew what that meant. I heard it when I was very young. And obviously when President Trump got into office, that's when it started calling my attention, because it's like, well, how is it that this man, prior to being involved with politics, he was so loved? He was in songs, in rap songs, and he goes ahead and runs as a Republican, and all of a sudden he's racist and he's the most hated man in America, right? So that's what actually got my curiosity sparked, and I started diving into this, and that's how I ended up coming across your channel, ABL. And that's when I went ahead and I made that decision with my little ones, that I was like, you know what? Because at that time they were in the public school system. I was like, if I don't teach them these things and I don't expose them to these things, even though they're young, yeah, they might not really understand a lot, but they're going to absorb. If they have any questions, I'll be here to answer them as best as I can. It's like, if I don't do it, who will? No one's ever going to raise your child the best of their ability the way you can. So if you leave this up, especially to the public school system, they will destroy your child. And my kids went to a really good area for the public school in Illinois. And I saw it coming. ABL, I predicted the future. So my kids were already watching you, watching Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity. And, it paid off in the long run, because when the whole pandemic came about, especially, my kids were just like, nope, don't fear. I got God. I don't fear anything. God says that I don't have to fear anything. And then the whole transgender thing started coming along, and my kids were just like, nope, there's only 2 biological sexes. There's no more than that. And, these are the kind of things that we have to, and very unfortunately, but fortunately, at a very young age, we have to get our kids on board with these things. So shout out to all the parents doing their due diligence. Really quickly, ABL, Kamala and her white press handler. He's white. No. What are the odds of that? It's crazy. And last but not least, Donald Trump working his shift at McDonald's. Amazing. There's this word that we say in Spanish. It's called convivir, meaning like in English, I searched it up and it's like coexist. I just love how he tries to coexist with like the everyday average American in society. I think that's awesome, ABL, because yes, even though we have the 1%ers that are creating like these companies and these jobs, we need the everyday American working in those jobs to keep America running. And that is so nice that he is so realistic and down to earth to the fact that he humbles himself enough to, again, the word coexist, convivir with the people. So shout out to him. Trump 2024, MAGA country, ABO. We're going to take this over. I'm so excited. God bless you. Thank you so much for the chat. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for your show tonight. And God bless the chat. Love the chat. Let's keep it going, ABL. Take care.
Thanks for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to Les. Fantastic call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The phone lines are jumping. So y'all please bear with me. Let's go to 208. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, this is Tom. How are you tonight?
Oh, well, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. So I'll talk quick so you can get some more callers in here. First of all, you guys got me starved talking about the McDonald's chicken, man.
For real.
My supper's not done yet. So one quick question on that. Have you tried the Big Mac, chicken Big Mac? Have you tried that?
Chicken Big Mac. I have not heard about this. I need to try it. This is my first time ever hearing about it.
No, I've just heard about it day before yesterday. My son introduced me to it, and it is unique. I'll say that. It's unique. I'm not real sure. It's good, though. It's really good. I've had a couple since then, but I don't do a lot of fast food. We just had a busy week.
Right.
But one thing I wanted to touch on, ABL, first of all, we're starting a watch party for when you're on live. So I've introduced a couple of my friends to you, and it's turning out to be pretty good. So now that the days are getting shorter, we're going to cook and hang out and listen to ABL live. So it actually turned out pretty good. But what I wanted to touch base with you on was, these media reports that comes out like today. That was their October surprise, I guess. Kamala coming out and saying, comparing Trump to who as a genocidal maniac. Mm-hmm. And the media reports on this stuff. So I would like to know your thoughts. I'm all about 100% First Amendment free speech. Say whatever you want to say. It's America. God gives us our rights. We can say what we want to say. But what about when it harms the country? I think, this is my thinking, I don't think censorship is the answer, but I do think accountability is. Like with MSNBC, CNN, all these people that are misleading people. This is my thoughts, and I'd like to know yours. I think that, God willing, and Trump gets in there needs to be some kind of entity set up to, you can say whatever you want to say, but if it's blatant lies, they need to start out with $1 million fine if it's something that misleads the public, if they're going to label themselves as a news network, and then up it from there. Thoughts?
Well, I don't know about that because it can kind of get murky because sometimes there could be a mistake that's made or it could be a outright lie and it's meant to be a lie. And it's hard to tell how they're different. So I don't really know about that. I don't know how that really will work, but I think what should happen is that people should take note of what's going on. And if you lie a lot now, that's pretty much what you're known for. It's just like CNN. At this point, they've been damaged so much by being this anti-Trump network full of lies, full of propaganda, that they're not taken seriously anymore by a lot of people. They've lost the trust of the people. That's usually how it works. You put out fake stuff. You're known for that now, so you're not taken seriously. It's like National Enquirer. Everybody knows it's a fake thing. So why would I? why would I want them to put out some real information? I know they put out fake stuff. It's the same kind of way for most of the mainstream media. So I don't know about how that would be really enforced, but I think it should be up to the people to say they don't put out real information. I'm not going to trust them.
Right, exactly, and you just spread by word of mouth. I just worry that a lot of people like my family that are used to tuning into the boob tube, the 6 o'clock evening news, we're from the same generation, and so that I know people have got access to the internet, but still the same people, they get fed this in their homes every day, and I can't help but think that like the Russia stuff that was proven fake, people need to be held accountable for that,
Yeah.
But that's just my thoughts. I'll let you continue on with your evening, and thanks for taking the call. Great show as usual, and keep up the good work, brother.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go 716 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting to be accepted right away. Yeah, I got 3 points, very important ones.
Go ahead.
Hello? Oh, okay. Just something about the polls. I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay. So
anyway.
hold on. Before we continue, turn the stream off in the background. Turn that off and just talk to me on the phone.
All right, I got it off. Okay. Here's the most important things for everybody who goes to election polls. When you walk in and someone from volunteer poll workers asking you which party or candidate you're voting for, your answer should be very simple. It's private and illegal to be asked here, can I just vote? That's all you could say. And the second thing I want to say, in New York State in 2016, in many places, no one asked ID or proof of citizenship when you go to vote. I have relatives and friends who voted differently for many different parties, candidates, but they all say the same thing. No one was asked ID. And here's the most important third point, which I actually did my own experiment, and listen to my third point. I'm not a citizen, and I got my voting serial number, and it says following thing. Your registration has been accepted. You are now eligible to vote. I will not break the law, by the way, just my own thing. And I have morals. That's why I'm not going to go vote for any election illegally. No matter what I believe in, and I wish I had my life, my life together and became citizen long time ago. I came to this country at the age of 15 years old. Now I'm 45, but I'm a permanent resident refugee. That's all I wanted to say, and I hope you all hear this and understand how bad situation is, that the election system is rigged, and it's all BS. Oops. I didn't swear.
No, it's all good. Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and because it's very important what I had to say, because anybody can go register for election card. Nobody will ask you ID to place the vote. Maybe the system will process those votes later, but who's going to check that?
So what state is this?
State New York.
Oh, of course, New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, of course. in LA, it's probably the same thing.
Yeah, California, New York, but here in Tennessee, where I live, you got to show ID, paper ballots. It's very secure where I live.
Yeah, I registered and I just put a check mark, and I got the ID, serial number, and everything, and I received this in the mail.
Wow, yeah, that's New York for you. But thank you for your
call. I can vote.
Thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, I'm 30 years here, so I should be able to vote even because of that. But and I legally came here. I was brought as a child. I was 15. But anyway, the point is that the system is rigged.
Okay, thank you for your call. I appreciate you. I mean, for real, you know what? I don't really want to hear nobody talk about the stuff being rigged, because at the end of the day, it's a local thing. And then when people say it's rigged, what happens is people don't vote. And that's a way for them to demoralize you. It's like, how can I say it? If you refuse to vote, then you can't say that it was rigged, because you didn't even, you rigged it yourself. You didn't even put anything out there. If you voted and then it doesn't go right, you have something to challenge. But if you don't vote, you might as well not even say nothing. That's the game, to get you demoralized so you just don't participate. Don't let them do that to you, because they can defeat you without having to lift a finger. It's like waging a war upon a country without fighting them. When you battle them psychologically, you could defeat them here before any weaponry gets produced. Don't let them do that to you. Please go out there and vote. All right, let's keep on going. Let's go to 707. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Margie in Northern California. Just wanted to talk to you about Tim Walz, please. I grew up in San Francisco, and I had a lot of experience just being young and watching the whole hood take the transformation of the city with gay gentlemen. And my late husband used to say stuff. He used to say that he found he could tell gay gentlemen because they were a little, when they had like these handlebar mustaches all the time, they were a little too groomed. The jeans that they wore were too blue and pressed, and their lumberjack, shirts were just, like fresh out of the package, Never saw any active duty, really. So I think Walz is, if not overtly, he has certainly had some experience more than just being adjacent in a ally. And but I think that both Harris and Walz suffer from autism. I believe they're both on the spectrum. They have no ability to moderate their reaction that they're going to get, and they're just awkward. But I wonder about Walz leg kicking, like he's doing a one-legged can. That could be dyskinesia, as quite often it's an effect of medications. And so he's doing some stuff, and it's like an involuntary, but he's going for it and with it, especially in hyper excitability, which, he's pumping it up. I'm a performer, I'm an actor and director and stuff, and you got to get revved, and you talk to yourself before you get on air, right? Because you're a professional. That's what professionals do. So but yeah, no, I think there's something going on. And as far as our dear Kamala, her eyes have always looked glassy to me. They, people have a wide range of, coloration and the iris and, or the people, whatever the heck it is, the white part anyway, but people with liver failure, more yellow, more tinged, and, those stoners and on certain medications, their eyes are red. And she's always looked like she needs a bottle of Visine. She always looks like, oh, man, I'm tired. And I go, she could be on some sort of drugs. I suspect alcohol, partly, because it's generally one thing and not one thing in isolation when you're kind of going off on personality problems. But now she rages back. She's avoiding contact. She can't deal with it. It's confrontational. She sees the wrong side, doesn't see the right side. I say that's high-functioning autism, and that would be very generous other than just a personality defect. So, and Trump, on the other hand, you got to give it to the man. He knows how to be gracious. He's in the hospitality business. If he can't make you feel at home, who can? So that's all I got to say, except everybody keep the faith. Don't get wrapped up in it. You're going to live the next day. You're going to eat the next day. Just be positive, folks. That's all I got to say. Thank you, ABL, for all you do, and you do a lot.
Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, my dear. Bye.
All right, great call. I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah, something going on, something not all the way right. That's a really good way to look at it. Shout out to her. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go 774. You're on line. Who am I speaking to?
How you doing? This is Tony in Boston.
All right, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. Been watching your show for a long time. First time caller. The reason I called is I was actually polled. Yeah, I've never been polled in my life. Don't know anybody that's ever been polled. And I was kind of tricked into being polled.
So hold on. But before you go into it, so how did you get tricked? Like, how did they really even contact you? Like, let's break down that whole process.
Okay, so I'm a photographer, and I was applying for a press pass. And before I could even get to the application, there were these, questions I had to answer. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. Now, was one of the questions your race?
No. They didn't ask me that. It started as like questions like, do you like, what type of outerwear do you like? What brands do you like? And stuff like that. And it just segued into like questions about the election. You feel me?
Okay, I see.
So next thing you know, I'm answering questions about the election. And so this is how the polls get you. So they asked me a question comparing the two candidates. And when my answer leans towards, Trump, first of all, the questions were it was multiple choice. So it was, strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly, strongly disagree. I mean, that was the pattern of how you answered the questions. So when you answer a question, strongly agree, like, for Trump, right? They'll ask the question like 2 questions later. You know what I'm saying? But your muscle memory tells you to hit strongly agree, which was at the top 2 questions ago. But now when it comes to did it the second time, strongly disagree was at the top and strongly agree was at the bottom. So before I caught on to it, I changed some of my answers because, just out of muscle memory, I knew strongly agree was at the top. And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So once I caught on, I started, paying attention, and I was, consistently answering the questions, and then it'll put up a Kamala ad all of a sudden, and then it'll come back to the to the thing, and it'll like, ask all kinds of questions, a lot of repetitive stuff, and then after a while, once all of my answers were conservative. 1, I didn't get to apply for the press pass.
Wow.
2, it just cut me off. It just, you know what I'm saying? It just, went blank as if it just froze on me, and then I couldn't get back in, and I couldn't, apply for the pass. It was crazy.
That's wild. That's wild how they do that to you, like stealthily poll you, try to manipulate you. That's crazy how they do that.
Right. I was flabbergasted. It was my first time, and I was wondering why these polls were leaning so much towards Harris, because in my circle is very diverse. Like I said, I do photography. I do fashion photography. So that's a very liberal world, very progressive world. You know what I'm saying? But it's very diverse too. And in that mix, there's a certain pocket of conservative people, and a lot of people that are secretly conservative but outwardly very progressive. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of answered the questions in my head about the polls, like when Kamala first put her hat in the pot, it had me wondering how these polls really were. And I heard a lot of questions online about people that were wondering about the polls, like who's ever been polled, you know what I'm saying? And I used to think, I had no idea where these polls were coming from, because I don't know anybody that got polled or anything like that. So to finally get polled and then see the process and they get, I felt like I was arguing with the computer. You know what I'm saying? So, right. So, that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely. It was nice talking to you.
Likewise.
All right.
Shout out to the caller. Yeah, getting polled on the low. It's like I'm trying to get a press pass, and now all of a sudden I'm being polled. And then it's tricky the way they do it. And then you see some of these poll numbers that don't make any sense. Numbers that don't really match up. It's like, well, are you being polled in a deceptive way? Like, what's going on? Like, what's really happening? Let's go to 917 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. It's Karen from NYC.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to call in because I heard the guy saying that he's been in this country for 30 years and he knows people in New York that are not citizens that are given the opportunity to vote.
Yes.
Yeah. So the part of I don't know about. I mean, I'm gonna guess sure with the non-citizen thing. I guess they do that. I don't know. I'm born and raised here, but yes, that is true about them not asking for ID. Unfortunately, so I've been voting since I'm 18, and I do remember. I think the whole thing with them not asking for ID is kind of blurry. It started. I know they asked me for ID when I voted for Obama in 2008. And then maybe in 2012, I think that's when it started, when they stopped asking for ID. It was strange because when I voted for Trump in 2020, they had not been asking for ID for a little bit, but I do remember asking the poll worker, what, you're not going to ask me for ID? And because it feels disgusting. It's like, I'm coming here. I always used to go, it's a school, elementary school, 2 blocks from my place. And I would always bring the ID with me because sometimes they'd send you away. You wait on the lines and they'll send you away when it was just election day only. And I would make sure I had my ID. And that felt nice. They checked it. You had to sign. You filled in the thing, and they scanned the sheet. It was the same system that you were talking about. But then I think it was around 2012, something like that, when they just stopped asking for ID. So in 2020, I did ask the poll worker, you don't need my ID? And he was like, oh, that's illegal if anybody were to ask you for ID.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, he straight up said, I was like, what? I was like, okay. I was like, so how do you check? He was like, well, you're signing it. You're signing. I'm looking at your old signature from the last time you voted. I'm looking at your old signature when you come to the area for your district. He was like, your signature is there, which was there before anyway. Your old this last time you signed, the signature is there. You sign again the time that you are voting, but you also were always asked for ID, and it felt nice. It felt like, they're checking everything. You felt safe. You could trust everything. And I do remember my boyfriend saying he's not from New York. He was like, it just felt disgusting when he voted in 2020. He was like, they didn't even ask for ID. That makes me feel like it's nothing. He didn't, it's like, it doesn't feel like you could rely on the system. So that is true. I wish they didn't do away with that here, but they did.
Yeah, that's really crazy. Like down here in Tennessee, but we don't play no games like that. You go to vote, gotta show the ID off like immediately. Paper ballots, ID, nothing else. To not have an ID, it just leaves the door open for cheating and things like that.
Right, and I guess that's what they want. It's disgusting. But I'm not on board with that. I didn't agree to that. I didn't vote for them to not ask me for ID. Like, I wasn't against them asking me for. I used to remember, like, carry your ID when you walk 2 blocks to elementary school. And are they going to send you back? Like, they used to say, no, you got to bring that ID. So I liked that. And I do remember mentioning it to one of my friends who's obviously Democrat and did not vote Trump. But she was like, well, I said, they didn't ask me for ID. Did they ask you? And she was like, well, yeah, if they ever ask you for ID, she was getting upset. She was like, you should just tell them that's not right. What are you asking me for ID? I was like, why would I get upset? I like that you're asking me for ID because it proves who you're verifying who I am. And also, it's not a big deal to show the ID.
Right.
So I just wanted to let you know that. And also, I'm kind of sad that the retired police officer, Chicago police officer, passed away. I was hoping that when you first announced it, you got wrong information. You were just going to say, oh, it's not true, and we were going to hear him call in again. It was nice to have him call in towards the end of the show, and I kind of missed that, his gravelly voice and everything, and wisdom. So, yes, he's missed. Rest in peace to him, and great show. Thank you, ABL. Have a great Saturday.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And yes, RIP to our retired Chicago police officer friend. He will be missed. He was a great part of the show. Absolutely. All right. I got a little bit more time. Let's go to 252. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
This is Darlene.
All righty, Darlene. What's going on?
I just want to say first, thank you for taking my call. I watch your videos just about every day, and I really do agree with you. Pretty much everything. I have already voted for Donald Trump. I voted for him the last time and the time before that. Honestly, this election to me hits personal and it really aggravates me, just annoys me to see how people are honestly blowing it off like it's not that serious. I have 2 small children. I have a 5-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. Groceries did not cost this much. My rent has went up 3 times in the past 2 years. I cannot afford really nothing. I'm literally barely making paycheck to paycheck. And I wanted to bring up one topic. I'm not going to, disclose where I work at, but it's a company that it came from out of Canada. And when I first started working there, just follow me real quick. This is when I first started working there. My supervisor told me how they were paying North Carolina to get sweet potatoes to take them to Canada. They was paying, I believe, like maybe $400,000 or something for a truckload. And now they end up opening the company here in America. And so that takes away that part of them having to pay for the sweet potatoes because North Carolina harvests, most of the sweet potatoes anyway. So they opened a company here, and I just felt like, me personally, I felt like they benefited off of these laws that the Democratic Party has pushed for the past few years. And another thing that they did, I noticed how it seems like they're pushing like our actual American citizens out of a job over immigrants. When I tell you, like, it seemed like immigrants just flooded in my job. Like 80% of my job is immigrants, just nothing but immigrants. And it honestly, it pisses me off. We had a gathering or something on our job where they was, I guess, trying to say thank you. They didn't even cater to us at all. They had a taco truck and everything for the Spanish-speaking people. And God knows in heaven, like I've been trying to tell myself, like, for the last, I mean, I'm not racist at all. I love all races equally with no problem. But it just irritates me how I sit here and I see how they benefit off so much. And they don't do the same for the American citizens, but yet and still you're here. You're here, you're on our soil. You're on American soil making money off of our crops. Our crops. And I just, like, to me, I can't understand, the life of me, I can't understand why people are so calm about what's going on. I just don't get why people are just like, it's like they're asleep. I don't understand. Like, you say you woke, but are you really awake? Like, do you see what is happening? Like, it's a lot of stuff that's happening. And I know, like, I see what people saying, like, I mean, they don't feel safe. Like, even with going in and out of the building, I had one guy, like, he literally followed me to the door because we have to have badges to scan in. He followed me to the door. How do I even know that he worked there? He don't speak English. And it's like, he just, like, tried to walk in, like, behind me. I speeded up and I shut the door behind me. I'm sorry. I'm not in the fool. I shut the door behind me. He's going to have to find some way in here. But it just ticks me off when I see this. But, yes, I've always supported Trump because I'm not blind. I see what's going on. And I feel like that, honestly, like, Kamala, like, no, I don't take her serious at all. At all. I didn't take Joe Biden serious. I mean, and, like, how can you sit up here and be a vice president under somebody that you once called racist? Like, how, I don't see it. And people need to really get off of this identity politics of looking at this woman and saying, oh, she's a black woman. Like, sit down and do your research.
Exactly. 100% correct.
That's all I wanted to say.
Well, thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Great call. Yeah. I mean, she's talking about it. You got the migrants, 80% migrants at their job. And then the craziest part with what she just said is how they did like an appreciation day for the employees of their job, right? But during the appreciation day, what are they doing? Taco trucks, you know that music to be playing. Hold on, can I play some of that right quick as we wrap it on up, put the boom on top? Shout out to the Mexicans, shout out to them. I like the music, don't get it twisted. But, I mean, where is the things for the English-speaking people, like the people that are like regular citizens? Like, what's really going on? Nah, that ain't it. There you go. That's La Cucaracha. That ain't what I want. Hold on. You're trying to give me this like pretty music. Come on, man. Like, I know what I want. I want the ranchero. I want that type of, you know what I mean? Yeah. This kind of stuff all day long. And that's still kind of nice. But y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't even really gotta, hold on. Yeah, something like this. all day, loud. Hey, 5 a.m. They going to work. You hearing this straight from somebody F-150. Nah, that's still like. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't really find, like, they got a playlist. I don't know what the Guatemalans and all them, they got a playlist that they play wherever they go. It's fire, but you might not want to hear that at 5 a.m. when you're trying to get a little bit of shut eye before you gotta get up in the morning to go to work. Yeah. All day. You gonna hear that at work. No English. Where am I living at right now? If I'm living in Mexico City or something, okay, it makes sense. But I'm living in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm living in I'm living in Petersburg, Virginia. Like, what's going on? Anyway, shout out to the Mexicans. Shout out to the music, and shout out to everybody that came here legally, regardless of where you came from. It don't matter what color you are, where you came from. You here legally, I got no problem. The problem is with these employers when they focus on bringing the migrants in and catering to them and ignoring Americans. And that's what's happening right now. And it's not just in the job, in the workplace. It's also in your community. Prime example, Springfield, Ohio. 20,000 Haitians dropped on the place with 55,000 people. And we got all kinds of issues as a result. Culture clashes, all of that as a result. It's not fair. It's not fair. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you couldn't get in tonight, I am sorry. Do not blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. Y'all know how I do. But I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat channel. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Somebody said louder, ABL. Hey, the music is fire. Don't get it twisted. But it's 5 a.m. I'm trying to get a little bit of sleep. I was like, what are we doing? But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. I'll be back live again on Saturday, but I'm here every day throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. If you are not subscribed to the channel for whatever the reason may be, please do so. Subscribe to the channel right now. And also shout out to everybody for being here, for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all as always. And this is also an audio streaming podcast. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Apple iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Marta Allen, you tried 27 times. Well, hopefully it'll get you in on Saturday. I apologize for you not being able to get on. Let me know your area code. Do not let me know your phone number. Give me your area code, and I'll try to look for you as much as I can. Alrighty. But shout out to you. Hey, and again, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault for not getting on. But seriously, I'll be back live again on Saturday. I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content. And I have more super chats. I'm going to read those right quick. Then I'll wrap it on up, put the bowl clean on top. Thank you to Cinderella Charming, who says, this is it. I early voted in Texas. Early vote, everyone, and take all your friends too, and ring in the big, bright future full of love and prosperity for us all. Equals all in. Let's get it. TRUMP with the heart emojis in between. Thank you, ABL, with the loving emoji, heart emoji. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Every single time. Thank you to Huma Masar, who says, ABL, why McDonald's for a chicken sandwich and not Chick-fil-A? Why? LOL. Love you, man. Love the show. Love the chat. Thank you. Thank you for that. Chick-fil-A, I think I might be allergic to Chick-fil-A. I might have a Chick-fil-A allergy. I don't know. Something in they food made me break out. And I can't be having this skin looking crazy. You know, I got to be presented to the public. You know, I can't be looking a mess. Like I smoke crack for a living. You understand? Like Pookie on New Jack City. Thank you to Bot MIT, who said, thank you for what you do. Funny how just some dude on YouTube can impact so many people with just being a straight shooter and sane. Thank you for that, man. It means a lot to me. It really does. I had no idea that I could make an impact people's lives. And I get so many emails from you guys, so many uplifting emails. And I've gotten emails from people in my past, people that I knew before YouTube was even a thought in my mind to really do it all. People, like, I got one of the best messages I got was from an old friend of mine. He's like, you remember me from X, Y, and Z? I remember you from X, Y, and Z place. He was like, look, I watch you all the time on YouTube, and I want to thank you for being around me all those years ago because you helped me to advance in my life. And this guy, he was younger than me. I remember him. I was around him when I was probably like in my early 20s. He might have been like a couple years younger than me. So I was like a little homie kind of, but good people. Now he's like a preacher. He got kids and a family. It's like, that's what I like to see. I like to see an impact on somebody, and you could really see how they were impacted, how your influence, your being around them helped them. So stuff like that keeps me going. It really does. And when the kids call into the show, that really does it, because I know that the next generation is being given the positive influence, and they're not just watching garbage on TikTok and things like that. So those things keep me going all the time. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate it. And thank you to Boomhauer, my man, who says, I cannot believe 4 years has gone by this fast. Hey, I was just thinking about that today, how quickly these 4 years have gone by. I was just thinking about that. I remember the 2020 stream like it was yesterday. That stream might as well have been yesterday, but it was 4 years ago. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. All right. But Boomhauer says, I cannot believe 4 years has gone by this fast. I cannot wait until election night. It's going to be the biggest party ever. What do you think, Trump 2024? It's going to be great, man. I can't wait. It is going to be amazing. I'm here for it. Y'all know I'll be here live on the stream, of course. Okay. So we're less than 2 weeks away. We're what, 13 days away till the general? And again, I've already voted. I said I wasn't going to vote until the day of, but I changed my mind because I live in Tennessee and we got safe elections in person, paper ballots, ID. So when I went to go early vote yesterday, it was just like going on election day. Go stand in line. I was in and out in like 25 minutes. It might have been less time than that. From the time I got into the line and to the time I had voted and get back in my vehicle, it was like 25 minutes. It was in and out, thief in the night, no problems. I love it. All right, but that'll be a wrap for me. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.